Phantom. Like I love that musical,
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd. The mainstream ones,
How about
but I
how
just
about
don't like it.
Sound of Music? It's not really musical, but like
I like that because no, so because of American Dad. My first off, but that's like I mean, it's not that I don't really enjoy that movie, but that movie as a musical, that like setup scenario, yeah, that's good.
mm, yeah, I can understand that. No, I
It
love
has the
that movie.
mom. That's the woman who played the mom in the Princess Diaries, right?
I have not seen The Princess
I think.
Diaries.
Well, hold on.
I haven't
What?
seen that movie in forever. Wait,
Okay,
you haven't
hold
seen the
on.
print?
No.
So let me restate. I had a sister who was 4 years older than I was, and those movies came out in 2004.
Bro,
So
Anne
she was like,
Hathaway.
oh, like 8 to like 12 years old, depending on when they all came out. So like she was very much into that. So I had to watch that. I apologize. That's why I. Anyway,
No, I love musicals.
I like some. I just that movie doesn't isn't more appealing to me knowing it's a musical.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't the original a musical?
I mean, he sang a little, right?
The the
Wait,
Oompa
wait, wait.
Loompas
The
had
original
like
what?
numerous.
Oh, the
Well,
original
I
Willy
think the
Wonka?
Oompa Loompas have always
That was
sang,
Yeah,
so
right?
fucking good.
and it had a lot of musical numbers in it. It was a
Yeah,
musical.
but also I like him. I like
Well,
Gene.
Gene Wilder.
Like
Yeah,
that,
you
it's a
can't.
big part. And I don't know. I feel like I think Wonka. I don't know what it has been, besides the movie coming out. It feels. I just feel like it's been really like prevalent in I don't know, just social media memes, and I'm getting fucking tired of seeing it.
But also
I'm getting fatigued by it, if you
the
will.
original movie. Can we talk about that them on the boat in the chocolate river scene?
How that like they didn't really know what was gonna happen either, and he was just like having a fucking.
Yeah.
They were like basically he was having a manic
That was
episode,
fucking
like going.
terrifying. Yeah.
They will not stop rowing.
And then all the fucking actors did not know what was gonna happen.
That again. That's what sells that scene, though. I think even more now, knowing that.
Yep.
All right, so I started recording a little bit midway through that conversation, but we were just talking about Wonka and the kind of interest slash lack of interest in that movie, which I mean that was one that I'm gonna add to the list of going to watch slash wanted to watch slash haven't watched.
I haven't even
So
seen a trailer for it.
If it goes to streaming, I'd probably watch it, but I
yeah,
Yeah.
don't know if
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
want to
I
pay
agree with
for it.
that.
Oh, I do love the remake of Les Mis though. Of musicals.
What? They did a remake of it?
Well, the one.
All right.
So
Wait,
there's an old
I know.
one,
The one
and
with
then
Hugh
there's the one
Jackman.
with Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman and Russell Crowe?
Well, I guess it's
Yes.
not. I don't know if you want to call it a remake, but yes, I adore that movie.
That
It's
one is so good.
amazing.
Okay, people always get on to like Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman for singing, but they did a great job.
But it's good. Like
What are
Yeah.
you talking about, bro? Like Hugh Jackman's like a big Broadway star now.
I know,
Oh
but
Like he
yeah,
people
primarily does
people are always
Phoenix
talking shit about that movie because like Russell Crowe can't
The
sing.
Greatest Salesman.
But
Well,
that's
But
Russell Crowe maybe, but
no, he did a great job
his.
in the movie, all
They
right?
didn't like try to make
I haven't
him
seen it in
vocally like
forever.
really like astounding. They just worked within his range, but he was
Yeah,
just kind of a dark and broody character, and that worked because he
exactly.
just has that low booming voice. Like
Yes.
no, Russell Crowe is fucking great in that.
Yeah.
I know he's not a good singer. I understand that, but damn.
Yeah, that's why they worked around it and they gave
Mhm.
him the low parts. You right?
all right. Well, okay, guys, we're losing focus here
Sorry,
already.
Sam. I want to continue.
Sam,
this,
you're
though.
derailing the fuck out of this right
I
now. You
love
just take a step back.
musicals.
Of course you do. All right, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the year of 2023, and
I don't know why I'm here then. If that's not what this is about, I don't know why I'm here.
this is about talking about the movies we loved, the movies we liked, the movies we didn't like, the movies we hated, the movies we didn't get to see, and also just kind of come up with a game plan for this year type of thing, and also just kind of catch up a little bit here. Right off the bat, I haven't asked you this, Beck. How was your Christmas?
It's good. It was just long, and dude, I don't know about you guys. There was not a single day like in December where it really felt like Christmas. Like even
No.
Christmas Day, it was
Yeah.
just I was just like this. It just felt like another day.
And
Well,
then
and
also
I was
fucking
sick.
Oh,
It
I
really
was
just
sick
felt
right
like
before, and then but the year prior I had the fucking flu on Christmas, and
Yeah.
oh my god, that was horrible.
Yeah, dude, it sucked ass.
Oh, and
So,
also fucking December 24th, right? We were working, closed at 8, so we closed early.
Yeah,
But it's just like it's just another day.
yeah,
yeah.
it
Well, we
didn't
did
feel
didn't
throw
feel
a
like-
different.
rager.
Yeah, yeah, we threw a Christmas Eve party.
I bet
But,
that
like-
was it though.
I mean, it was still just another day.
Sam got tackled into our
Like,
Christmas tree.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
who did the tackle?
My
Xavier.
buddy Zave.
Yeah. It was more of like a I love you tackle. He was going for a hug, but was going too fast.
But he was going.
And then
Yeah, no, that's you can't even be mad about that because you're laying there and you're like, yeah, man.
yeah, yeah, that's kind of how it was. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, man.
we got past the holidays, and
Yeah.
we originally planned on doing a stream for the holidays over Die Hard, and I actually started watching Die Hard
Mhm.
with Zave and
Mhm.
Shane, and then what happened was
You see, what had
uh,
happened was
like midway through, we literally had just gotten to the point where the terrorists like show up at the plaza, and Zave's like, "You want to go outside so I can smoke a cigarette?" I'm like, "Sure, fine, that sounds good." So we pause it, go outside and smoke a cigarette on the front porch. Like 6 of my neighbors came over, high as fuck on cocaine, and just were
Jesus.
talking. We were talking to
really
them for
did,
like
though.
an hour. And then eventually they left, and we went back inside, and we were like, "Man, it's too late to finish this movie now." And so I still have not finished Die Hard, which is disappointing because I had planned on watching that before Christmas this year.
Yeah,
And every time I tell people I haven't seen it, they get pissed. So
I think it's
Yeah.
funny. It's such a nice thing to hold. Like I swear that's why I won't watch a Rocky movie now.
hold on.
you haven't seen a single Rocky
I have
movie?
not seen a single fucking Rocky
You should
movie.
watch Rocky 4.
Hold on.
Rocky 4 is great.
Hold on.
I
No.
watched that one in history
Hold on.
class.
Hold on.
That means it's bad.
No, it was great because it's America
They
versus
should.
Russia, bro.
Hey, okay. Beck,
I will break you.
have you seen It's a Wonderful Life? No.
Neither have I.
I've seen like clips and everything, right? You can't avoid that. But no, I've never sat down and watched it.
Every time a
It's
bell
a
rings,
great
an angel
fucking
gains
movie.
his wings.
You're going to cry if you watch this movie.
I want you to know you will not see a single tear shed.
Did you
if
see
I watched
just?
that movie.
Did you see Just Trust Ash dropped a reaction to it?
Yes, and I watched it.
It looked like they both cried like little babies.
They did.
He has the best reaction to Interstellar of anybody I've watched when it comes to the 10-year long message scene. Dude was like crying like a little baby.
I mean, it's such
He-
fucking.
Yeah, dude, but it's like he just understood it better than any other reaction channels.
Yeah.
I felt like.
Especially like the message that he got from Murphy.
Yeah.
She was like, "Guess what? I'm the same age you are as when you left," and he was devastated.
All right. So, speaking of Nolan, we're talking about Interstellar. Nolan dropped one of the we have to talk about Barbenheimer
Yeah.
Yes.
because that was the biggest fucking thing that happened in 2023 when it came to cinema. Like just astronomical numbers. Barbie's like the highest grossing fucking movie for Warner Brothers ever at this point. I actually saw something on Facebook that there's an ASL version of Barbie on
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah. And they want people
And-
to like passively watch it so it boosts its
Yeah,
viewing
do
so they get more
of
ASL
those.
in film.
Which I understand, man, because if you watch, especially if you watch The Sound of Metal, like that one really made me understand how like sign language is actually a language that has inflection and shit. And
Yeah.
so
Oh,
that versus reading something, yeah, that's great. So
Sound of Metal is also such a good movie.
that's the scariest movie I've ever watched.
Yeah. Beck, you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
Basically,
That
it's
movie
about
scares the
this
shit out of me.
drummer in a band who goes deaf.
Yeah, he's in a metal
Yeah.
band and he goes
Mhm.
deaf, and he's also an addict. And so then he moves on to this like compound with a bunch of deaf addicts and deaf like children and families and stuff, and they just
Mhm.
it's a fucking phenomenal movie, but
Yeah.
it scares the shit out of me.
They accept him, and like he has trouble dealing with it because like his deafness is caused by like
Well, and he also wants to get that fucking surgery, that
yeah
conkle implant, but he doesn't have the money for it. So it's like part of the movie is him trying to figure out how to do that. And they're like trying to tell him like getting your hearing back isn't necessarily the answer. You're not looking for a fix for this. You're looking for a fix for this.
yeah.
It's a fucking phenomenal movie.
And do you mind spoilers?
No, don't spoil anything for him. I want this man to watch this movie.
No, it's a great fucking movie.
I'll probably forget if you tell me anyway, but you know.
Yeah. Oh well. No,
Oh,
I can
well.
tell you.
All right, so
We're here to talk about 2023 movies.
where? Okay, well, so I want to know where do we want to start with this because, like I said, Barbenheimer was big, but I also have these movies placed in my lists.
Yep. Do we want to start with how many of them have you seen that were released in 2023?
Yeah, that's true.
No idea.
So you didn't count Beck.
No.
Sam counted how many?
21.
And I only saw. I figured it out as far as I know, and there's probably a couple I'm forgetting, but I counted 14.
No, I literally scrolled through the IMDb page for movies released in 2023. I scrolled through 500 movies and counted 21.
Jesus Christ! I just kind of like browsed Google.
Yeah, that's
Sam,
what I'm doing.
Sam, tell me the movies you watch. I know one of them's Five Nights.
All right, so
Yeah, I
I'll
wish I
just
saw
go
that.
through the list. I watched Leave the World Behind. That's
Yeah,
one
I
of the
still need to
Netflix
see that one,
originals.
but I heard such bad things about the ending. I was just
Yeah, I mean,
put off by
it was okay. It was a fine
I
movie.
wanted to watch it though. The cast is pretty cool.
I love Idris Elba.
I
And,
love Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, yeah.
Ethan
Mm.
Hawke is great.
And the next ones
Dude,
were
Oh my
Black
god, it's
Phone?
Ethan Hawke.
Holy shit.
Oppenheimer and Barbie, of course. Then we watched Dream Scenario, Thanksgiving, Across the Spider-Verse, of course. John Wick 4, of course. FNAF, of course. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We watched Bo's Afraid, Elemental, When Evil Lurks, Evil Dead Rise, No One Will Save You, Strays, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Cocaine Bear,
Oh fuck, I
Renfield,
forgot about Strays.
Quantum Mania, Knock on the Cabin,
Hold on, slow down. What'd you say after Strays?
After Strays, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey,
Please.
That's right.
Cocaine Bear, Renfield, Quantum
Oh
Mania,
fuck.
Knock at the Cabin, and They Cloned Tyrone.
Dude, I want to see the last like 3 you listed: Cocaine Bear, Knock at the Cabin, and They Clone Tyrone. I still need to watch all of those because I want those. All looked really good.
Yeah, they were. No, you'll be surprised by my top 5 list.
I was gonna say you guys are gonna be kind of surprised by my worst, but only like
Oh.
one of them.
I've got some hot takes on my worst.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got
Alright.
a hot take.
I was gonna say
I forgot about Strays though. I need to
I think I'm gonna
put
get some
Strays. I'm actually gonna end up with like a fucking top 10.
Anything I can't add into the top 5, I'm just throwing in like Sam's like that honorable mention.
Yeah, that's kind of my idea, but I wouldn't add too much to it. Like, right?
Well, no.
I
yeah,
like-
my
but
top.
I like
I,
most of the movies,
movies
but
I
it's like-
really like.
I have a top 5, and then I have like it's actually like a top 8 right now. But the after 5, it's basically honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And same with the worst. But
I
yeah,
will say, I did not put Evil Dead Rise in my top 5 or honorable
So,
mentions.
Sam, you missed one.
What was it?
Was that your whole list?
That was my whole list, yeah.
You missed Megan.
That was
That
not.
was in February.
I'm about to check
January or
this.
February.
I'm about to check this. Fuck, January 6th, 2023.
Yeah.
Damn. Alright. You're right.
So you saw 22 or 24?
22.
22.
Let me go ahead and get my pen and add that.
Yeah.
Dude, Strays was fun. I just wanted to, because I completely forgot about Strays, but that one was fun because we ended up getting like tickets from my buddy Eric to go see an early screening of it. And it was like a pretty full theater. And I haven't gone to like an R-rated comedy like that in a while with a full theater. And even though it's like, I probably wouldn't have paid money to go see it because it was free. It was such a fun movie going experience. And the movie was actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
You probably
it
didn't have a
was.
lot of expectations, did you?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was way better than I thought it would be. It was actually fucking funny. Now, how funny it is, it's subjective, but, you know, I'm a dumb guy, so I think some fucking stupid shit is funny.
Yeah. I will say it did not make any of my lists, but it was still a good movie.
No, I just added that to, I'm just going to say it right now, I added that to my honorable mentions because that was, like, the closest I got this year, or in a long time, in the last couple years, to, like, this is the end level. Because I went and saw This Is the End in theaters, and that was, like, the closest I've gotten to that type of movie-going experience, where it's just, like, the theater laughing the whole fucking time. Now,
Yeah.
This Is the End was different. This Is the End, literally everyone was crying laughing. But
Of course, yeah. No, I mean, that was a fucking...
yeah. So
Oh my god.
I went and saw that like opening night, and it was packed, and that was like one of the best movie going experiences I've ever had. Definitely comedy wise, best top. But yeah, just Strays kind of brought me back to that, and again because there was like no expectations, I did enjoy it, and you always love Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Especially when he's playing a moron dog. The stupidest dog ever. But all right, so I guess
You guys want to go to top 5s?
I want to start with worst.
Worst?
You want to
Oh,
start
right.
with worst?
Alright.
Or okay, well maybe top 5 is less interesting than worst because
Well,
I think
You want to
our
bounce back and forth.
no, let's do top. Let's do top first, like best
Alright.
favorites. Well,
Who wants to
which
start?
one? Yeah, I was gonna say, who wants to start?
All right,
Beck, how about
let's
you
start
go?
let's start with just top 1, everyone.
Well, no. So, so how are you doing this? Because I'm thinking we both like we go up the list, so we work up to our favorite of the year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'll do our like number 5 and work our way up to our number 1.
All right. So, I guess I'll start. My number 5 was Dream Scenario.
Dream Scenario. That was a really great movie, and the only reason I did not put it on the list is honestly I feel like we didn't experience the whole movie. And I know we probably walked in like 5 minutes into it, so
No.
we didn't miss a whole lot. But
Also, I remember I was like the first one in the theater.
yeah,
So like basically it was a lecture on like zebras and shit and survival instincts.
okay. See,
So we didn't miss much.
but it was a great fucking movie, and honestly, that is in my honorable mentions. But I put that at number 8 because now the going to see that movie was fun because Beck, we went and saw that at the movie theater next door, and when we walked it was in the smaller theater which seats about 25 people. And there was nobody in there.
Yeah.
So
we
we
just
walked
walked
in and
in.
we were the
Private little,
only
like-
people. Yeah, dude, we were vaping hardcore in there. Like, we brought tall boys in. Like, we didn't give a fuck. Like, it was great. And then the movie was fucking cool. That
Yeah.
was a cool
Yeah.
movie.
It was
And
a
it's
very-
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage in A24. You can't fucking go wrong with
Also,
that.
he did such a good fucking job.
Yeah, he was great in that movie. He was funny and like dorky and quirky. He just
Also-
like nailed it.
Fucking scary sometimes.
Well, especially near the no, not to
And-
get into too many spoilers, but it does get pretty like
Yes.
fucked up near the end. Like it starts going like bad.
Yeah. No, he did a great fucking job in that movie. It's like
No,
that's why I
that
put it
was-
number 5.
that was definitely a good one. Actually, so I do respect that one, but my number 5, bro, fucking John Wick 4. That was the most fun I had at the fucking theaters this whole year.
Yeah.
Like hardcore. When it comes to just like action, you don't get better than that.
That's
Like
true.
the
Yeah.
fucking have you seen John Wick 4 yet?
Oh, I saw it twice in theaters.
Dude, the fucking dragon breath scene alone was enough where it was just, dude, everything about that fucking movie. I was so glued to it the whole time. And it's like, that series so far has not missed. That's just been great all the way through. How the fuck do you make 4 amazing movies? But yeah, dude, that one just like, I've never seen so much awesome action packed into like 3 hours before, and it was nonstop. So,
I will say I had to put it in my honorable mentions.
dude, I love that fucking movie so much. It actually is my favorite John Wick movie, and it was the like thing that pushed me over to be like, now I love John Wick, and I want to watch all of them in one sitting. And like one day just watch all of them. So I had to put John Wick at 5 for my list.
Okay.
Beck, you're over there laughing like you think it's a joke or some shit. But
No, I'm sorry. John Wick 4 was a action-packed movie.
Oh, you have some criticism.
We're doing top though. Also, you're completely frozen for me right now.
I noticed my camera has frozen. I don't
Okay,
know
I wasn't
why.
sure if it was just a my end.
Yeah,
thing or
no,
not.
it's on my end. I don't know what's going on. As long as you can hear me, I can figure this out. But
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if Sam's out of shot, so I have no idea what he's doing. Oh God, the cats are getting in this one. Boys,
well, I've got this
I
camera.
apologize. I thought they were getting into something.
Alright,
Alright.
you've seen Oppenheimer?
Well, if they're not
All
up
right,
to
Beck, you
anything
gotta
bad.
also remember.
Cross the
You
Spider-Verse.
gotta remember. I've only seen 14 fucking movies. Well, 15.
Those Afraid, Elemental.
Who are you talking to right now, Sam?
Yeah, Sam, who you talking to?
Yep.
He's probably talking to Natalie.
Shut up. Alright.
Shut up.
Sam,
Good
who the fuck
grief.
were you just talking to?
What?
Who were you? Is
Oh.
Natalie home?
No, Natalie called me and told me that Stephen Hawking was on the Epstein list.
Yeah, dude. I
Oh,
already
you guys didn't know about that?
And I thought,
Fucking
first
Stephen
off,
Hawking.
I was like, bullshit. I was like, I don't fucking believe that. And I was like, do you think he would sit in a room with them and just fucking recite black hole theory? They have like fucking stories of the android one that used to visit them.
No, I feel like that came out a while ago. I thought. Or
I mean, I just
was
don't
he
know.
part of
How
the
did-
new
what-
list?
What,
No, they
what's the
didn't
point
actually
of
release the list until like today, which is
Okay, well, some people had seen the list and had said that's because I remember hearing people saying he was on the list before. I guess because
Mhm.
I know that I had heard they were about to drop like an official list.
Well, they
But-
kind of did.
I
They
haven't.
they released, it was like 900 some pages from the court case, and so you have to go through that and find out like who they're referencing in the court
And of
case
course,
to the
there's gonna be
people on the list.
motherfuckers.
Because I think they said they found out it was like John Doe 136 or something was like Bill Clinton. For what? What is that? Is that Jeffrey Epstein with a Pop Tart?
All right,
Alright,
well, all right,
anyways,
Beck.
anyways.
All right, Beck. Well, you were laughing at my choice for
Yeah,
number
what
five.
was your
So
number 5?
I want to hear your number 5.
On my top 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not laughing at you having John Wick as your top, like in your top 5. I'm laughing because of where I have it at.
Oh, okay.
It's just like I'm Monkey Wrench. I have No One Will Save You. It was a
Dude,
Hulu. So
we
fucking great.
just watched that last night,
Yeah.
and
I
it was
loved it.
phenomenal. I have that on my list, on my top list.
No, like
but it's-
I gave it an 8 out of 10, but it's not on my top 5 or honorable mentions.
It was
Dude.
just such
Like,
a
it was
different thing
really-
from
it was really
anything I've
good.
watched in a long time, and I really did like it.
It was there
Yeah.
were so many things going for that movie. It was fucking like cool that there was like almost no dialogue and the only
Mhm.
official line in the fucking movie was "I'm sorry, Maud," which just was like so tied into the fucking story so well.
Yep.
And then just the fucking pacing of it alone was phenomenal, and I love this. I've actually been listening to the soundtrack throughout the day today. Like I like the soundtrack on it, the visuals, especially
Mhm.
as it starts ramping up towards the end. Fucking awesome, and the aliens were cool. Dude. Everything about that movie.
Every alien was so different, and it was like the
Yeah, dude.
because they are, they're just such like a organic mech looking thing.
Yeah, dude, it was just I fucking love that movie. That was definitely you're gonna that is actually pretty high on my list.
And it came out of nowhere. I
yeah.
really just stumbled onto it. And I think Emma
Well-
even was like, "Hey, I saw something about this. You might like it," and it was so good.
The main actress, Caitlin.
I know her from Last
Danver?
Man Standing, that Tim
She-
Allen show on Fox.
She was in there was a movie. It was
Uh-huh.
like Superbad,
Superbad.
but for girls. And I can't remember what it was called.
I'm on it.
But apparently she was really good in that. I've been meaning to watch that one.
She was, but I don't think the movie as a whole was very good.
Oh, really? I thought I
didn't-
heard. I almost want to say it
Booksmart.
was like Booksmart. Yeah. That's one I've been meaning to watch.
I say, and also, it's opinionated. It got a very high score on Rotten Tomatoes. I just didn't. I mean, I need to rewatch it, but I didn't.
Oh, did
enjoy
you
it.
see it?
Yeah, I tried to watch, or I watched it a couple times and just never really got into it.
Okay.
And it might not be geared towards me. Superbad
Right.
might be for boys.
Well,
This
and
is
it's
probably just for
Oliv-
like this could be more of a.
I think that was also Olivia Wilde's first directorial debut.
Oh shit! I didn't know she directed that.
But that's beside the point. Caitlin Danver, however you
Deaver.
say her name, Deaver. She
I
was
think
so good in No One Will Save You. Phenomenal. Especially because it's hard to do a role where you're just it's
Not
all
speaking.
physical and visual.
Yeah.
And very limited dialogue.
No, she was great in that movie.
Especially with the emotion she shows at the end, with the like big plot twist. Well, not twist, but the reveal at the end.
Mm-hmm. Of I guess how it happened, because
Yeah,
it's just the
what
whole movie's
happened.
alluding towards it, and it's just you don't hear anything. It's just her being
It
like,
just-
I'm sorry," but it's like she never really confronted the issue until that point.
Oh fuck! Hold on. Can you look up Sisu? I think Sisu also came out this year.
I believe it did. Yeah,
Yeah, that one's going in honorable mentions.
I didn't even watch it.
No, wait. When it came out in 2023?
Yeah, because I
Really?
remember seeing the ad for it when I went to
Yep.
see John Wick.
I just
one on my
remembered.
list.
Yeah, that came out earlier this year.
I'm at 23 movies now.
But that's what I mean. I feel like we're gonna forget about some movies, and then as people bring them up, we'll remember.
No, like
Um,
the strange thing is, right? Like I scrolled through all of like the IMDb to like 500 movies.
Bro,
Yeah.
you scrolled
And
through
Sisu-
500 fucking movies. That's why. You probably
It was-
missed some. Like, how did
It
you?
was sorted by popularity, and like as I saw them, the ones that I watched, right, I would add them to my list.
I had this. This didn't come out. This is the trailer, right? Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Because I kind of lost focus. I started thinking about the fact Sisu came out. But yeah, No One Will Save You was great. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
But all right, Sam, what's your number 4?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer's a good
Yep.
one, dude. Man, that one. I loved seeing it in IMAX, but watching it on film was so special. That was
Yeah.
a fucking cool. Like, I know you didn't go, but I went and saw that with Eric and Rio
Yeah.
at the Gateway on film. I can't remember what it was.
It was like 72, 74, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was something like that. But so I'm not like a huge like I don't know about film like the actual physical
Yeah.
film. So, but I just knew that like that was the only way to watch it on film in the city. And
Yeah,
so,
but no, I also, even seeing on regular, I really enjoyed the movie.
dude, it's such
It
a
was,
good.
yeah.
The pacing of it,
Mhm.
and the visuals.
Also,
I
the
mean,
fucking,
no one knows
the,
how to make a fucking movie.
the fucking audio work too.
Yeah,
Like, having the stomping earlier in the movie, you don't know what the fuck it is, right? But then later on, you see in that auditorium all the people stomping as Robert J. Oppenheimer walks through the.
dude, and he's like shook by what he's
Yes,
just done too.
he's terrified.
he's
He's
just got
fucking-
like that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. He does not like what he's done because he realizes it's like it might end the world. It might
I'm
kill
sorry.
hundreds of thousands of people.
That just reminded me of there was a really funny moment on this podcast I like called Come Town. Stavros. I'm sure you guys know
I
Stavros
swear to God,
at
you
least.
plug them every time.
Dude, so
Like,
this
compound.
motherfucker had a Freudian slip one time when he said Thousand Island Stare. And Nick Mullen was like, "You fat piece of shit. You said Thousand Island Stare." He's like, "No, I fucking didn't." And they played the audio back. I'm like, "Yes, you fucking did, bro."
Oh my
He's
God.
like, "God damn it." They're like, "Oh man, when you see a really good dinner and you get the Thousand Island Stare."
All right. Let's hear your number
But-
4.
All right, so my number 4 was When Evil Lurks.
That one,
Dude,
I did
that
not
one,
put it in my list, but it was such a great movie.
that movie I put at number 4 because I've never watched a horror movie that has seared my brain with imagery more than that fucking movie did.
I'm
I'm
terrified
so
of fucking
glad to hear
goats
you
right
guys
now.
talk highly of it because I've been so on the fence about it, and you've sold me because just that you guys like it.
Have you seen it?
I'm terrified of goats right now.
So
The thing is, it's like I just always wait for a horror movie just to like do something to me, and I just feel like I've been let down most of the time
Dude,
when I go
this
anymore.
movie,
So that one,
Yeah.
There were multiple moments, but there's one in particular that I don't know if I will ever be able to get out of my brain because it's so fucking visceral
I
and
know
out
what
of
you're talking
fucking
about.
nowhere. It's like it kind of is building up to it, but you don't expect what they fucking show you. And when it
Okay.
happens, you're just like, holy fucking shit, they're doing this.
All right, I will say I expected it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you
there
can
was
feel
something
it
wrong
coming.
with it.
You can
Yeah.
but
feel
you
it
just
coming.
don't know the magnitude of
But
what
when
was
it
actually
Yes.
gonna be.
fucking pops off, you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And so that's just that, and there were a couple of other scenes that are just like seared into my brain. And so that movie like
Also,
did something a lot of horror movies have not been able to do recently, and that's like fucking scar me a little bit.
Mhm.
in
also,
my-
it
in my
was a foreign
mentality.
film, right?
You said
So
what?
like, it was a foreign film, right?
Yeah. It's,
So
I think
they
it's
don't
like
they don't have the
Colombian
same
or something.
restrictions as like US
yeah,
films too.
I guess that's true. That is true. That's probably how they were able to do
Yeah.
what they did. Cause yeah, that was like I was like, there's no like.
It was.
It's so bad. Like, yeah, dude, you gotta watch that
That's
movie.
such
That
a
movie
fucking
is.
great movie.
That's probably the best horror film of 2023 after No One Will Save You, in my opinion. And honestly, I'm kind of like on the fence about switching them.
I think it's better than Evil Dead Rise 2.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Way better than Evil Dead Rise.
Ooh.
And the concept of it is really cool too. And you like
That's
The
true.
Exorcist, it's like a fucking fucked up version
I
of
just
The
read the
Exorcist.
synopsis of it.
Yeah, dude, it's like
Or I guess
it's
the
like a
Wikipedia
fucked up
synopsis.
version of The Exorcist with its own type of lore. Like I've never seen a possession movie like this. Like it's just it was phenomenal.
Okay.
So that definitely that made it to my top 5 for sure.
Yeah. No, I really liked it, but I had some other movies that I like more.
No, for
so
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch more movies than I did.
That's
so.
true. That's true.
Beck, what was your number 4?
Oh, let me pull it up. Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah. That one was in my I put it in the honorable mentions.
That was number 7 for me.
I didn't see a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of basic, so mine's gonna be I would say my top 5 are gonna be kind of bland and compared.
Barbie was a
I
great
really
movie,
enjoyed Barbie. It was a great movie.
The thing that I loved about it the most, I think, because like I was talking to my buddy Luke at work the other day, and he had mentioned that we were talking about the Mario movie and how it had just hit Netflix, and I still haven't seen the Mario movie. I'm actually going to add that to my need to watch.
Very good.
But he had started watching the Mario movie, but he didn't finish it. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that it had just been added to something. I also saw Barbie had just been added to some HBO. And he was like, yeah, my wife started watching it. She said it fucking sucked. So.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Like, what? Because I feel like, I mean, if you're going into it and you don't know what exactly it is, it might come off a little corny. But it's like, if you look at it, like, just the attention to fucking detail alone in Barbie Land is impressive. If you actually, like, look into, like, how accurate that shit is. It's like every single item is a released Barbie item. So it's like they fucking nailed the vibe with, like, the visuals and then just everything about it. And then Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, come on now. They were doing like some really fun shit. That was just a fun movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the more fun movies of the year, for sure.
Although I feel like if we had a woman on our podcast, they'd be like,
well, that's the thing.
It's
sad
also not
ass
fucking movie.
It's not marketed towards us, but I know just I was like literally, especially when the that moment when she meets her creator and then she goes through and there's that montage.
Yeah, no, I still fucking cried. Like,
no, dude, I teared up a bit.
Yeah.
But then I was looking over at Natalie and she was like going through it a little bit. And then when we were leaving the theater, she was like, that fucking movie just spoke to my soul.
Yeah.
So it's not really marketed towards us and it's not made for us, but we can still enjoy it.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of people who miss that. And they're like, I'm a dude. I'm like a heart. If you go and see the Barbie movie, you're gay or you're a beta male.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard this argument online. If you go and see the Barbie movie and you're not with your girlfriend or wife or some shit, you're a beta male. And it's like, or I just appreciate art more than fucking lifting weights, you dumbass.
It's got dad in it, bro.
You said what?
It has dad in it. Just don't.
Dad? Oh,
Ryan.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, that's true. Well, you mean Daddy? That's Daddy.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryan. Oh, well, actually, no, that's me.
No.
I'm him. I'm Ryan Gosling.
I'm him.
No, that's
but
me.
I'm
That's
Ryan
me.
Gosling.
That's
I'm
me.
Ryan Gosling
No,
from
that's
Lars
me.
and the Real Girl.
That's me.
Dude, I remember
I'm literally
watching
him.
this movie and texting you. I was like, I don't mean this is a joke, but this is literally you.
Yeah, bro. I'm Ryan Gosling from Lars and the Real Girl.
I've been wanting to rewatch that. It was so good.
I fucking love that movie.
Oh God. All right.
All right,
I think
Sam.
we're on to number 3.
We are. What is your number 3?
My number 3. They cloned Tyrone.
Okay, so I still haven't seen that movie. Beck,
know.
have you seen that movie?
No.
No,
Alright, so
it's so fucking good. All right.
I've seen. I mean, the
Have
cast
you
is
have you
great. I
heard the
love
like
John
synopsis
Boyega.
or
No,
I
anything?
just know that it's like this group in the hood that start like thinking that there's something going on,
Yeah.
and then it's like they stumble across like this
No.
facility that's like cloning people
They
or
don't
some
stumble
shit.
across it, no. But no, it's a sci-fi thriller action movie. It's fucking great.
I want to see that. I might
Wait, is that
watch
There's
John
that tonight.
Boyega?
there's so many jokes about it because
Well, it's a comedy, right?
do you yes. Do you mind mild spoilers?
No, don't please don't don't.
Alright. Alright, I won't say anything. Alright.
Because I
But
really want to see that movie.
no. It's
And I'm trying to go into that one blind too.
I put it at number 3, alright? So
Well,
you know it's good.
Did you put The Blackening on your list?
I did
Did
not
that come out
actually.
this
No,
year?
2022.
Or last year?
I looked it up.
Was that last year? Okay. I thought
2022.
that was this year.
No, it came out 2023.
2022. I
I
looked it up.
just watched it.
2022. I
Blackening?
looked it up. Yes.
It says June 16th, 2023.
I thought it came out this year.
Let me look it up again.
Because you guys started talking about it a few months ago.
Well,
Or
I
you've
quite
been
literally just watched it like a day or two ago. There's a 2018 short.
Okay, no. So it premiered in the Toronto International Film Festival
In
on
2022,
September.
but it-
yes, in 2022.
September 6th.
But then it
And
theatrically
theatrically
released.
released in June 16th, 2023.
Yep, so that's a
Alright.
2023 movie. So you gotta put that one on your list too.
Technically, the short film it's based off of
That
came out in
counts.
2018.
All right. 24,
if it came
24
out-
movies.
In the theaters in 2023, that's a
Sam, why are
2023
you fighting
release.
it?
It's like if I had gone and seen Neil Breen's new movie when he was doing that circuit, bro, which I'm still pissed that I was leaving town on vacation the day they were showing that at the Gateway.
That's
I'm
depressing.
so pissed. Because that's not coming out on digital until like February or March. But you best believe we're going to have to do like a viewing party or something.
Mhm.
I remember falling asleep watching those fucking movies. So
Dude, but
much.
you need to
I know,
to
you said it
watch
was out
them
the
in a
room.
group.
I just
That was the most
a solo
fun.
mission. That was my Everest. It was getting to the end
No,
of that.
dude, watching them alone was rough. But when you're like in a room with people, like drinking beers, smoking weed, watching the new Neil Breen movie, it is, and you're just all talking shit the whole time,
Yeah.
and like pointing out the weird shit. Because there's so much shit you can miss. Like I remember Sam pointing out something when we were watching. What was that? His better one, not Twisted Pair, Fateful Findings.
Hey,
We were watching Fateful
Better one.
Findings, and you pointed out something in the hospital scene, and we're all just like, "Yeah, what the fuck is that?" Like, and it's like, you don't get that unless you watch it with a group. So I really wanted to see Neil Breen's new movie in a theater with a bunch of people, but didn't get to do that. So plus,
Alright.
it's a sequel to Twisted Pair.
So my third one was they clone Tyrone. Devin?
Mine was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Which we already went over, so I don't think we need to retread that one too much. But yeah, I mean, it's just, especially my favorite part of that movie, honestly, aside from the cinematography and like the pacing, was Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. He
I
did a
don't know
fucking
why.
Great job. No.
I just loved
besides
his like.
besides the bomb dropping, his interview
Well,
with like
yeah,
those
well,
people, that was
It-
phenomenal.
It's gonna be really weird. It's gonna sound weird, but it was just his face for me the whole movie. It was like how he used his face to like convey his inner thoughts.
Yeah.
Especially like we were talking about the 1,000-yard stare, like during the like gymnasium scene and shit like that. Like it was just, and there was also the like first real image that was seared into my brain from that movie was him in college, and there's like that shot of him in like the courtyard with like some of the buildings behind him, and he's like kind of staring down. as they're like still showing like the inner workings of his first like synthesizing the idea of
Hmm.
the nuclear bomb, and they're
And
still
then
like shit. So,
they
and it
they
was that montage of him with like poisoning the teacher and shit. Like it was
yeah.
just everything about like
But no,
his
that was a real
performance.
thing. Like I looked
Yeah.
it up after. Oppenheimer
Well,
really did try to poison his teacher.
and then also the cast. The
Yes.
cat, just aside from Killian Murphy, the rest of the cast, like especially Florence Poe or Pugh, however
Pugh.
you say her last
Pugh.
name,
Yeah.
which basically my Hollywood queen. I worship her. Yeah. It was a fucking great cast. There were
One of,
so many fucking faces that showed up. Casey
one of my
Affleck was
one
a
of my favorite
standout.
scenes, right, is during the interview. There's one scene where he's naked in the interview room
Yeah.
when they're interviewing him.
Emily Blunt's like seeing
Yeah.
him fucking Florence Pugh's character. I can't remember her name, but
But like
then she's
it's
just imagining that
he's
because he's being
not
forced
actually
to...
naked, right? But
Yeah,
it's like that's how he feels.
exactly that too.
Yeah.
It's like also showing him. Well, it's a mix of like him feeling like stripped down and naked, and then also like Emily Blunt looking at it like, yeah, I mean they're making us relive the time he fucking cheated on me, and
Yeah.
then his mistress killed herself.
Hey, we don't know she killed herself.
She did. We do know that. We saw it.
No.
We saw her
If
do
you
it.
watch the movie, there's some fucking black hand that pushes her
What are you
down into the
talking
tub.
about?
Isn't that? I thought that was supposed to be like a metaphor for him, like he feels like he killed her or had a part in it because he left.
Was that what it was?
Have
And
you-
that's
No,
how
have
I-
you-
because no,
that's
there
how
was
I
there was
took
a
it
scene,
as.
right, where like someone behind her pushes her into the tub where
How
she
many
drowns
times have you
herself
watched the movie?
once.
I've seen it twice. I do not remember a black hand pushing her down into the tub. I remember it showing her setting up
Yes.
pillows
I remember that.
on the floor and filling up the tub, and then the next scene is just her in the fucking tub dead. Like
No,
they don't
no,
really
no.
show her.
Beck, you agree with me, right? There's a scene.
I've only seen it once, mind you, so my memory could be that. But I
I'm
thought
pretty
I
sure
remember
there's a
glove
scene.
like holding the back of her head or something in that.
Yes.
That sounds
I'm pretty
very
sure
familiar,
there's a
but it's
scene.
been
I
long.
might just not have seen it. I might have been
It,
looking at
it
the
i-
wrong
okay,
things.
yeah, it
but
is. It is very quick.
I mean, a lot of the stuff in that was.
Yes,
just
a
I mean,
lot
yeah,
of
that's,
it.
that's part of the
Lincoln Minute.
pacing.
Yes.
I mean, bro, you gotta be quick with shit like that because it's
Yeah.
like there's so much to tell.
All right. Well,
Another
that just means
standout-
we need to watch it again. All right.
Well, yes, for sure. And they just released it on digital not too long ago. I'd like to get a physical copy of that, but I would love if they would release like a twofer with that and Barbie. I'd buy that.
That'd be
great.
Barbenheimer,
fucking
the
funny.
box set.
That'd be funny. It'd be leaning into their
They were already leaning
Yes,
into it. So
yes.
exactly, it's like now we're just gonna do it, but for home release.
yeah.
But the other standout, there were two standouts outside of Cillian Murphy for me with this movie, and that was Robert Downey Jr., who
Yes.
fucking killed it, and I haven't seen him like do much since Iron Man, so it was
Yeah,
refreshing to see
He
him
hasn't
in
done like
something.
he hasn't done like a
Mhm.
dramatic role in a while.
Yeah, I think the last one I remember him doing was like Zodiac or some
Well,
shit.
he did like what was it? Something about like the judge. When was
Oh,
that?
I don't even
'Cause, like,
know.
I think it was like his father was a judge and he was like a lawyer. I can't remember what it was.
Harry. Is this recent or is this just?
I think it's like
his
a few
bio?
years ago.
Oh, it's the judge.
I think that's what the movie's called.
Probably.
I think.
Oh, Robert Duvall, Dad. Was Billy Bob Thornton in it?
I have no idea. I haven't actually
Jesus,
seen the movie.
Sam. Well, but-
I have But no, I know he's done like a dramatic role before, but like he killed it in this one.
No, dude, and it's so great when you see like the ending, and it's just like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yep. Yep. Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer killed him, and
The other standout for me was Casey Affleck because I love Casey Affleck, and he was only in one scene, But that was like maybe one of the most intense scenes of the movie when he's interviewing. He's like that. He's the head of security for the Los Alamos.
Bro,
He's the head of security, and he's not supposed to be like interacting. Like Oppenheimer and him are not supposed to cross paths. And then he ends up sitting there, and the dude is just sitting next to him, asking him like intense question after intense question about this one guy that he brought on his team.
Yeah.
And then he it's like juxtaposed with him talking to I think Robert Downey Jr.'s character or somebody else on a train.
No, I think it was Matt Damon's character.
Matt Damon's character, that's right. Yeah. And he's like explaining to him, he's like, you were not supposed to be in a fucking room with that guy. And he's like, what did you tell him? He's like, answers his questions. It's like, dude, that scene is my favorite scene in the movie. And yeah, Casey Affleck fucking killed it. But yeah, so that's why I put Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was just so fucking great.
It was.
Yeah. And it was such a cool experience. And again, especially seeing it in film, just like fucking sold it for me. I was like, this was one of the coolest movies I saw this year. Beck, what was your number three?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, across the universe. Universe? Spider-Verse? Shit, I already forget. I always get it, so fuck that. But yeah, the new one.
Yeah, that
Across
one
the
was
Spider-Verse.
Number three?
Fucking
Number
great.
I've been very excited for that movie, and my first experience watching it was quite funny. It was great. So Sam, I don't know if you know what happened, but it was on the 1st of November after the party. Emma and I had ran to Easton. We were going to do a couple of things after we had to get out of the Airbnb. And then was like, yeah, come over. God. And he was texting me at like 10 o'clock or 10:30, 11 or so. He was like, hey, so I'm thinking like you guys get over here. We'll run to like Spirit Halloween, so we can get his like stuff like on sale. And I was like, yeah, cool, man. I was like, we're probably gonna leave here in like an hour.
I'm kicking myself we didn't do because I found out how cheap some shit was.
Oh, but we get to the house and I think I tried calling Devin and I texted him and I was like, hey, we're on the way, we're here, whatever. And I knocked on the door. I was like, oh, like I'll give it a minute.
I apologize for this again. I'm so sorry.
Wait, was this the time when fucking Natalie?
She let us in, and she's like, I was like, well, Devin was just awake texting me, and she's like, bro, she's like, I came downstairs at 11, he was up watching like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and eating, and then he went to sleep. But anyway, we go into the room, and Devin, we start watching it, and he falls asleep immediately. So we're like the 2.5 hours it runs, and I'm like into it. But I'm like, the movie is happening. I'm like, wow, like so much is not like being finished in this movie, right?
No, that's the biggest problem with it is like it's so fucking good you don't want it to end. And then when it does, you're just like, wait, hold on. No, stop, because you were just ramping the fuck
nothing
up.
got resolved. It literally ends on such a high point. And Devin's in the fucking floor in the beanbag chair. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I just had the to be continued, and he wakes up and he goes, what'd you think?
No, Devin and I watched this in theaters, right? And you could hear the music coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting up in my chair. I was like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. And then it did the fucking to be continued. I was like, fuck.
I was like so pissed, and not because like I hate movies that do that, but they just did it so well that it angered me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just.
I didn't even know it was happening.
It was a great point to end on,
you're
but
so fucking like absorbed into it, and you don't realize you're like it's been the runtime.
Yeah.
And nothing
been
is
2.5 hours, but it's like it's so fucking good you just forget about time. You're just absorbed in the visuals. Yeah. Dude, seeing that in theaters especially, like I know you watched it in the den at our place, so you saw it on like the big screen, but my projector's not the greatest. Dude, watching that on a high def projector in a theater,
I'm surprised they won't release that before the next one comes out or something.
And then the fucking finale,
it's such an art piece.
Finale has like three different things going on.
Dude, visually, it's the most stunning movie I think I've ever seen.
I just rewatched it in my parents' house, and
At
it
least
was like he
animated.
had like all the lights off and everything, really. And then it was just on this like they had the flat screen. It's got a good picture, but it was so nice in that controlled space because the lights were just playing off of everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And dude,
I
when
think
you see fucking it's 2099's like webs and they're just that like weird because they're not real webs. They don't feel like
yeah,
it. You can
it's
tell
like
they're
it's
like
like
the
a red like
artificial.
kind of laser kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's so
Yeah.
good. Like the colors,
'Cause, like,
everything in this
Have
movie
you
is
heard the
on
lore?
point.
Have you heard like the lore behind Miguel?
Oh, he's not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He
No,
doesn't
he is
he does he
Spider-Man, but
uses
like
his claws. He doesn't have
He's
the
a
powers. He's like a
vampire.
vampire.
no,
He
no, no.
uses
So like
claws to like climb. He doesn't stick to
so
things.
his
Everything he has.
origin, right? His DNA was combined with the spider. Instead of being bit by a spider.
Oh, well, there is one that it's one of the,
So
it's like
like
Peter Parker X or Spider. I'm trying to remember, but it's one to where the process went wrong and he literally became like a spider.
basically like the stuff he injects, right, is to like slow his transformation to a spider. That's how I view it.
I wonder if
And
we'll
then,
see
like-
that version of it then at the end of the
Like
next one if he forgets to.
as we saw, he has fangs
Yeah,
like a spider.
I thought he was
He
a
has
vampire.
claws. He does not have web though, and he does not have like the sticky hands.
Is
And
there a
he's
type
also
of
a
spider
bitch.
that is like that?
He can't walk on walls.
Is there a type of spider that we like don't know that doesn't produce its own webs and is he just a tarantula?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
No,
I
you
don't
know,
know,
that's
but-
fucked up though because he's trying to talk about how like you're like the one you're the Spider-Man that shouldn't be.
I mean, no, okay, no, that part,
He's
part,
kind
right?
of valid.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
if he wasn't
Because-
bit by a fucking spider, he's got no room to talk.
But
No,
his still happened
There,
in his
no,
canon.
there's a thing, right?
He was still
the
supposed
scientist,
to be
the scientist,
made
right?
like that.
The Spot
Uh-huh.
brought the
His-
spider from a different universe into this universe,
Yeah.
and it bit Miles. Also, I was watching a video recently. Miles is the scientist that's right next to the scientist. So Miles 42 is right next to that spider.
What?
So Miles 42, who became the Prowler,
Yes.
was going to get bit by that spider.
Yes.
But it got transferred to a different universe.
Yeah.
Oh, it got transferred to Miles, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what.
So
that
that's
So-
why
bending
that.
stuff
that-
was,
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's yeah,
That's still an anomaly, though.
yeah. I mean, that's
why
why.
didn't, look curious. Why didn't Miles' universe implode over that?
We don't know. Like
That's because that was.
I-
that was
I've
not
been-
a
I've
canon
been saying,
event,
right?
Sam.
like so what I've been saying, right? Since I've seen this movie like 5 fucking times, Is, when Miguel went over to replace his self, who was killed. What if Miguel in that universe was the Uncle Ben?
Who's Miguel?
It's 2099.
Miguel O'Hara?
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's right.
And he went to a different
I just
universe
think of him as 2099 Spider-Man.
and lived his life with the family. And then eventually that universe collapsed. What if the Miguel that he replaced was Uncle Ben?
What?
But why would
Because-
that matter since that universe ended?
Well, obviously it doesn't matter
Well,
anymore.
And whose
but,
Uncle
like-
Then I
Ben
don't
would that be?
understand what that-
Whose Uncle Ben is that? Like, and who's?
I think I would notice if Martin Sheen was suddenly just
And-
Oscar Isaac. You know?
Well, and also that doesn't make sense because it's not like when you go to one universe, like a character is a different person. Like maybe Miguel is in the role of Uncle Ben somehow, but he's not Uncle Ben.
Because no, like the way I saw it, right, the way he explained it is his Miguel O'Hara got shot in a robbery. And then
Whose?
he went
Miles,
no,
like our Miles.
we don't know actually like the universe, but like he replaced that Miguel.
See, I feel like you're looking too far into this.
Yeah, that's probably right. You probably right.
Like, from what I got from the movie, it was pretty straightforward. Miguel's universe, like, his family died, and so he tried to find a universe where, like, he could live with his family, and then he tried that, and it tore everything apart. So now he's, like, trying to prevent that from happening again. And then
Yeah, 'cause it
Miles'
wasn't
whole
canon.
anomaly thing is not supposed to be canon. And so he's trying to stop that, and Miles is like, fuck that. No, there's a reason for this, and I am
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And also, if Miles was an anomaly, his universe would have already collapsed.
Right. I feel like it's one of those things where we're going to find he's the one that's supposed to bring the Spider-Verse
The
ultimately.
anomaly was not the anomaly.
Yeah.
It's
The
supposed
anomaly
to-
was always supposed to happen.
It just seems like an anomaly to Miguel.
I mean, we do have evidence of like anomalies, right? It does happen with fucking the Indian one.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
his universe
Well,
started to
and
collapse.
dude,
but-
my favorite's the what's his name, the punk rocker.
Yes.
He just fucking pieces out at
I-
one
I
point.
fucking-
He's like, fuck
he's my
this
favorite
shit. I'm not
character.
going to be a part of this anymore.
He's my favorite character. But yeah. Like I figure since Miles is already an anomaly, it's like and his universe has not collapsed. It's like maybe all of this is canon.
No, I think it is. But
And
let's
like
not that. Well, let's not. Okay, so hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to like cut your thoughts short, but I do want to get us moving on.
Yeah,
know,
okay,
we've been
okay,
talking
yeah.
about Spider-Man for a while, and this isn't
Hey,
really a Spider-Man
just-
theory,
I'm just telling you, we'll get back to it.
but that is definitely.
All I'm
who
saying
who
is,
was the one?
who
This
would've-
was Beck.
This
This
was
was your
Beck's
number
third.
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
His uncle or his dad would have had to have died in one universe. And him becoming Spider-Man is what allowed his uncle to die. Because who would have
Yeah.
been killed otherwise?
Well, didn't Miles' fucking uncle die in the previous movie? In the first one?
His
Prowler?
uncle
Yeah,
died in the
but-
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Prowler
I'm
died in
saying
the
if he
first
never
movie.
got the spider, his uncle nor his dad would have probably died. Up and then would that would have been because one of them's got to die. It's just how superheroes.
Because
go,
yeah,
man.
I mean, his
They
uncle was
literally
still
say someone has to
Well,
die.
Miles doesn't. Okay,
okay.
I'm
Hold on.
sorry,
Hold on.
does
Let's-
Miles' story follow Peter's? I didn't think Miles had
No.
like necessarily needed an uncle to die to become
Well,
Spider-Man. I
doesn't
thought
have to
that
be
was
It
an
does not.
Peter's
uncle, but it's
story.
gotta
No,
be that
that's
person.
the Spider-Man story. Like
I guess that's
the,
true. Yeah,
the canon
everybody.
events,
Okay,
the
'cause-
uncles die.
Because
and-
Gwen's
Well-
dad dies.
I was gonna say, but it's like Gwen's dad in her
It's someone
story.
different.
And also
It's
like her,
somebody, but
also-
it doesn't have to be their uncle.
no, it wasn't Gwen's dad. It was literally Peter who died.
Oh, yeah, in
but
her
doesn't
story,
dad
yeah, it's
die at
Peter
some
who
point?
dad-
Whose
who
dad
died.
dies? Because it was always like the police chief died too, right? And her dad's
Yes,
also the police
The,
chief.
No, that's-
the
yeah, that's
canon
Gwen.
event was the police chief dies.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Gwen. That's Gwen's story. Her dad dies. That's what happens in the Amazing Spider-Man.
And then
And then
she dies.
we get all these stories about, oh, my dad was police chief. My dad was
That-
police chief.
No, that's another thing I do want to bring up that was fucking amazing in Spider-Verse was that scene
Yes.
where they're like going through and showing like the scene from Amazing Spider-Man, and I think they showed a clip from Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then
Yeah.
fucking Donald Glover shows up as his character from Spider-Man Homecoming. Dude, it was just that scene.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so
Um,
cool to see those
and then
outside of the live
That was like
action,
a
and it's still
No Way
canon.
Home light.
The scene
Mm.
afterwards when fucking Gwen goes back to her regular world
Oh yeah,
and
she has
talks
that
to her
co-
dad.
Yeah, and her world is so cool because of
Yes.
like the
Watercolor.
watercolors and
It's
stuff.
watercolor and it's based on emotion.
And it's based on the watercolor imagery is based on the cover of her first comic, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Her
radioactive
first comic
Spider-Gwen.
was in watercolor. So that's kind of why they did it that way, and it works so
Yeah.
perfectly. Also,
And
I
then
feel like
they used it perfectly
camera-
because like
Okay.
when her dad says he's not going to be captain and then she hugs him it's just pure white.
Yeah. But all right, so we really
we need to move on. Yeah.
move on here.
All right, we're on to number 2, right?
Yeah, Sam, what's your number 2?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Such a good fucking movie.
I fucking love that movie.
That actually is my top honorable mention at number 6.
Yeah.
I put that right after John Wick 4. Guardians fucking made me cry a number of times.
Yes.
Like, the only other movie that really made me cry was, like, Barbie made me tear up near the end. And then, I mean, I think that's the only other one. But Guardians fucking gutted me a bit with Rocket's story.
Yes.
Like, that one made me the most emotional of the year.
I fucking loved
It wasn't
that
even
movie.
just that, but it was also seeing Will, go and like see his grandfather again in the after credits.
Oh, yeah.
He was that was nice.
That was This entire movie was
Dude,
amazing.
They wrapped it up so well.
Because I don't want to be like cliche, you know, and say like family, but like they are a family.
Well, and Vin Diesel is Groot.
Yeah, it's true.
And he does have a line. He's like, "I love you guys."
Yep.
At the
If they
end,
had not, if they just thrown in him saying the word family, that would have been the most absurd crossover.
Oh no shit! I'm surprised they were probably like, "That's too on the nose."
They're like,
Vin
Secret
Diesel
Wars
was like,
gonna
"I don't
have
want to
them
do
and,
that."
like their ships are all the rocket now flying around and that shit. Oh,
Yeah, no, dude, that movie actually has my favorite fucking scene in maybe any Marvel movie, where they have that standoff with what's his face, and it's Peter and Groot, and they're trying to save Rocket, and they're in that room, and they're like, "This is a trap," and he's like, "It's not a trap if you know it's a trap."
It's a face off.
And then it's a face off. And then they're like, "This isn't a face off." And they start leaving. And then, like, Groot, like, he just pulls
Takes
a
out
fucking
all those
grenade.
fucking
And then,
guns,
yeah.
the grenade.
And then
Yep.
they whip out all those guns and shit. But my favorite moment of that scene is then, like, after they've got the whole room cleared and they stab that scientist dude in front of the window and they don't kill him. And he's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then Peter's like, "That might be premature." And he fucking tackles the dude through the fucking window.
He's like, "What the
And
fuck?
then
You'll kill us
fucking
both."
crashes him into Earth.
Yep.
He just fucking slams him into the Earth. That's like the most brutal death I've ever seen in Marvel. Like, they fucking like hang glide him into the ground like a bird and just crush him and leave him in a lake. Like, and pull the information out of his head. Like, that shit was just, I love that scene. So yeah, Guardians was fucking sick, and that's why it made my number 6. Like, that was the only good thing Marvel did this year.
yeah.
Hands down, that was the only. Apparently, Loki season 2 was pretty good, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of like put off by any of the. The only thing I want to watch is the new Echo series that's about to come out, because Daredevil, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, is back, and he's not just like a hookup for She-Hulk. He's actually going to be a character in this one, and it's TVMA. So it's like going back to the graphic nature of the Netflix shows, where it's going to be violent and bloody, and it's kind of paving the way for Disney's new, more mature MCU with like Deadpool 3, which is the only fucking movie they're releasing in 2024.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only movie they're releasing in 2024. They went from releasing like 4 or 5 a year to, because of the writer's strike and everything, they only have one movie to drop this year, and it's Deadpool 3. And it's probably going to make them a fuck ton of money. And they're going to look at that.
Yeah,
They're going to look at that and be, I'm going to go see it. I want to see it. Like, dude, it's got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine back. Come on, fuck now. Like, and it's probably going to have a lot of other people. Like, I've heard apparently, what's her name from Logan, the girl who played like his daughter.
X-23.
She's coming back. Yeah, she's coming back for Deadpool 3. Like, they're bringing the fucking X-Men in with this movie. So it's like a big milestone for the MCU, and it's their only movie. And I think they're gonna, if it does what I think it's gonna do, which is gonna do fucking gangbusters at the box office, they're
They
gonna look
better-
at it and be like, we need to slow down on what we put out, and we need to just put out like a couple bangers a year and stop pumping out so much fucking content on both ends. That's what I hope.
Okay, but I will say, like, I have enjoyed like all of the past Marvel movies.
All of them?
I have not
Nice.
seen Marvels. I have not seen Captain America. What was her name?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel is okay. But besides that, yeah, I did
Wait,
enjoy
when you say all the
like
past
What
ones,
about
do you
Thor
mean just this
2?
year?
Thor 2. Fine.
Ooh.
Good garbage. Fucking dumpster
And
fire
literally
piece
everyone
of
agrees
diarrhea
that the
shit.
first two Thor movies are trash. Ragnarok is perfect.
first
and
two?
Thor
Some
was
people
like-
The
like
first
the
one was
first Thor
good.
movie.
No.
Some people like the first Thor movie.
Yeah,
I will
it's-
give them
It's not the worst one out of all four,
They-
but it's
well,
not the strongest. It's still a
the-
weak Marvel
the
movie.
thing with the first Thor
wait,
movie
wait,
that
wait,
people
wait.
like. Hold on. Let me just. This is quick.
Alright,
The
alright.
the thing that people like about the first Thor movie that they give it credit for is that Thor, the first one, tried something different. That whole script is designed to sound like Shakespearean. Like
Okay.
all the dialogue, everything about it is more like Shakespearean, and they tried something like that. They did try something different with Thor. The problem is that I didn't like it. I don't think a lot of people
Wait,
did.
Okay, let's-
So-
What did
Trying
you
to
not
build
like
a
it,
universe.
Beck? What did you not like about the first Thor?
It just wasn't it was not a strong. Okay, it's been a
It was
fucking
just kinda
minute since I've seen it because I
dumb.
don't like it. I don't watch it a lot because I don't like it. That being said, it's just not a strong opening movie for trying to introduce a character into the universe.
It was
No,
Thor adapting to Earth culture.
But it felt kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie, it felt
course it's
really
going
fucking
to.
corny.
I like
No,
to
well,
drink.
and I will say, Captain America's first movie also felt corny, but it felt
Yeah.
corny in a more proper way because it was like that,
Because
like
USA, baby.
it was like that
World War
U.S.
II.
propaganda style corny.
Okay,
Whereas,
no. What Beck said, him slamming the glass on the ground, that's part of his culture.
It's still really not.
And he's
I just-
adapting. He's
I did not-
adapting to the
dude, every
human
time I
culture.
tried to watch Thor, I fell asleep.
That's such a cracker. Like,
It's a
that's cool, like,
fucking
if there's
boring
movies-
movie.
If that happens to me more than 2 times, it's like I just can't enjoy this movie because if it makes
Dude,
me fall asleep, it's not.
It,
a
intro-
Thor.
it
Is the most
a great
boring
movie.
of all the Marvel movies.
introduces Hawkeye.
It it introduces Hawkeye. Fucking
Black
woo!
Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye, bro. The only reason I like Hawkeye now is because of his show, and that's more so because he's got Haley Steinfeld now, like his apprentice, and her character Kate Bishop is great. Kate Bishop was the best part of Hawkeye, but outside of that, like, yeah, dude, Thor is a boring movie. But Marvel has had some misses. And more recently, and we'll get into this a little bit
I
more.
just watched it and it hurt me. I really
It's
wanted
just-
to like it.
Dude, I mean, like, I was all the way involved with Marvel up until midway last year. She-Hulk was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I haven't really, like, followed them since.
I just don't watch.
Yeah, they're
Anyways,
just-
I'm gonna go pee. Shut up.
All right. My number 2 was No One Will Save You.
Oh hey, no.
Holy
That
shit.
was my second
Wow.
favorite movie of the year. I swear to God. Dude, I was telling Zabe on the front porch, I could not believe how fucking good that movie was. Like, just everything about it was what I love in cinema. Like, trying something weird, like no dialogue in a movie.
Mhm.
Awesome fucking visuals. A cool concept. Amazing pacing. A great performance by the lead actor. Like, everything. The soundtrack. I just fucking loved that movie. That
Yeah.
movie was a fucking thrill ride from beginning to end. And I'm so glad we watched that last night instead of The Creator. Because I wanted to watch that one way more than The Creator. But yeah,
No,
so that was my number
That
two.
was a great movie. Like, I really liked it.
Beck, what was your number two?
Dungeons and Dragons.
See, I still
I
have
still
not.
have
Oh,
not
that's.
seen that.
I
Do
gotta
you,
put that on my
so
list.
do you guys play it all?
I still
I've
want
played
to,
it
but
like
I haven't.
once or twice.
It's such a fun movie, and being I mean a semi big fan of the game. Like we try to play every other Sunday. It's just there's so much little things you pick up on that's stupid in the movie, and it's like it's just dumb. But that's just how the campaigns run.
I
Like
cast
literally the part
fireball
where she's screaming, like
in
she's
an
throwing
enclosed room.
potatoes. It's like that's just something that happens. It's quite literally just like I'm gonna like you start hurling potatoes at shit, and it's a very good movie, and it's so fun to watch. But also, it just looks. It's
That
just a
was the
fun movie,
main,
and that's what I
like-
love about it.
That was the main
It's nothing
praise I
special.
heard about it. The main praise I heard was that it's like got a lot of jokes that if you're a D&D player, it's like they're fucking nailing it with the
They
humor.
are, it quite literally is such a good representation of D&D,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Well, and see, and I've never played D&D, but I'm currently playing through Baldur's Gate 3
like the
Which
items,
is
lore, and all that.
in
But
the
it's just
world of D&D. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've never actually played it.
it's hard to nail down a visual for a game to where anything can happen,
Right.
and capturing that they did it very well.
All right. Well, that was
Guess we're
your
on to-
number two. So
Guess we're number
now
one.
we're on to our top favorite film of the year. Sam, what do you got?
Cross the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's my number one. That was literally my favorite movie of the year
Yeah.
as well.
It's
Just
such a
everything
funny movie.
about it.
Yep.
I mean, and like you said, you saw it 5 times. I've seen it
we've
like
already talked
4
about it.
times.
We've already talked about it. All right,
And we already
So,
went through it.
let's
So
move on. Beck, number one.
Again, I just want to say that all of my stuff's opinion based.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
fine.
won't use. I won't even use facts to back it up half the time. But just Evil Dead Rise.
I mean, everything is subjective.
Evil Dead
here,
Rise?
So
I have been
Nice.
waiting so long to see an Evil Dead movie in theaters, and the place I got to experience it in an IMAX screen room was just perfect. I
Mhm.
couldn't have gotten a better first experience with that movie, especially with the sound system they had in there, and it was just
Yeah.
It scratched that itch, and
No,
I've
I mean,
watched it so many times since
it
release.
was a
loved
great
it.
fucking movie. I just had so many movies that I watched
No,
this year.
I'm like Across the Spider-Verse, much larger accomplishment. True,
Yeah,
just is a better movie on that level. I just
but
love
this
Evil
is
Dead
about
so
your
much,
enjoyment, right? So
This is
it's
what
like, yeah,
yeah, and that's why I want.
I get that.
I'm getting into that before we start getting into the bottom ones.
well,
I think we should go
think-
through honorable mentions first, though.
Yeah.
So like,
probably, 'cause
alright.
they're,
we just
ones
mention them just like in passing. Like, doesn't
Yeah.
have to be anything long. My honorable mentions were Barbie, 'cause that was not my top 5. John Wick 4, Elemental, great movie. Beau's Afraid. And
Bo is
also
afraid now.
Sisu.
Bo is afraid. Did not make it onto either one of my lists, but as much as a lot of people like to shit on that one, I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought
a
it was
great movie.
perfect.
Yeah.
And Ari Aster thinks it's his best movie he's ever made, and it's the one that means the most to him.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fucking great movie. It's wild. It's got a crazy fucking ending, and it's just it makes you ask questions the whole time.
That's
and it's
why I put
very,
it on my honorable mentions.
Loopy. It makes you feel like you're in a dream the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that one. Another A24 movie that I mean you said you put it in your tops, but yeah, for my honorable mentions, definitely Dream Scenario.
Hmm
Um,
No, that one was wild.
No, I don't actually have any other honorable mentions. I mean, we already talked about Barbie, Strays. I guess Sisu, because Sisu was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that
It
one
was
was
another-
just, it was violent and wild and
Well, and
everything you
obviously,
expected it to be.
No One Will Save You did it a little bit better. Actually, a lot better. But Sisu also followed the rule of show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Like, no one will
Exactly.
save you was all show, no tell. Sisu had a little bit more dialogue to it, but it was definitely, it was a visual movie, and it was literally John Wick in World War II. It
Yeah.
was sick.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
so, um, yeah.
All right. Devin,
Uh,
your honorable mentions, if you haven't gone through them already.
well, that was one of them. I do also want to bring up. I don't think any of us have seen it, but Killers of the Flower Moon.
I did not see that one though.
I already know because it's Scorsese. Like, that one was probably, if any of us had seen it, would have made our top 5.
Yeah.
And also, Poor Things. I probably would have put it in my top 5 had I seen it, just from everything I know about
It's not
it.
showing here. Like we
I
couldn't find
hadn't
it
even
on the
thought of that one.
surface.
That's the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie. That's the guy who did Killing of the Sacred Deer
The
and
Lobster.
The Lobster. And this one, this one's got Willem Dafoe as Dr. Frankenstein, and he's basically making a Frankenstein, but the Frankenstein he makes is Emma Stone. And it looks like, just visually, it looks bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks a little more straightforward than I feel like Killing of a Sacred Deer or The Lobster was.
It doesn't look as stale.
Yeah,
Like that dry humor. It's a little more
it doesn't
upfront
look
about
like
it.
the acting also looks a little less stiff. Although there's still that scene in the trailer where she slaps Mark Ruffalo and he goes, "Ouch."
I would love to see a scene of Willem Dafoe eating spaghetti without his pants on.
Dude, anything with Willem Dafoe in it I want to see, but Poor Things just visually like looks so fucking cool, and it's one of the highest rated movies of the year. So that's one, like, I feel like if I had seen that probably would have made my top 5, but because I haven't seen it, I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
I might end up hating it like I did Killing of a Sacred Deer the first time I watched it.
Man, he doesn't miss.
All right. Let's see your runner-ups. Beck.
So, Skinamarink.
Oh, fuck, Skinamarink. I forget
I was
that's on my
wondering
list.
if you're going to bring it up. Slaughterhouse. Guardians Volume
Skinamarink-
3.
Hold on. Skinamarink, I do want to comment on that because Skinamarink was a cool movie, but that wouldn't have made my top 5 or my worst because it was a great movie. But nothing fucking happens. That movie is all atmosphere and just like uneasy feelings. But it really is like a test of patience if you're not into that type of shit. Like, I could see somebody falling asleep during this movie.
Like,
because it's just like weird camera angles, disturbing sounds and imagery, and there's like a very loose plot to it.
It's very much a theater movie.
Yeah, well, it was cool to see in theaters, but you could get a great experience out of it.
Oh, yeah.
In your house for sure, especially if you're like alone and
On
watch
the projector, I bet it would be great because it has that kind of grain to it, and it would play into it a whole lot.
Well, and Sam and Natalie still haven't seen it, and I want to show them it, but it's one of those movies where I'm like, do I want to sit through that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a casual view.
There's some really cool moments. Like, my favorite is the look under the bed scene.
I remember you telling me about that.
That one's so scary, but it's like, at the same time, it's just like it can be a try of patience. So that is a really good honorable mention because I completely forgot that came out this year. But that was probably the most unique of my theater going experiences.
So, I remember I found that at Walmart. It was like $5. And I was like, I have to get this just to have it.
All right, but continue.
But Slaughterhouse.
Oh, is that like a sloth?
I'm pretty sure it's Hulu. but it's like
I
a
heard about
slasher
this.
movie, but with a
But
sloth.
it's sloths.
Yeah,
I heard
it's
about
fun.
this.
Oh, sloth.
Wow.
Guardians 3, great. And then there was Last Voyage of the Demeter.
What was the last one?
I heard about that one, but I have not seen that one.
So I'm such a sucker
That's like a
for
Dracula
monster
movie,
movies.
right?
It is, and what I loved about it was the premise, because it was a Dracula movie, but it wasn't just a rehash of Dracula's whole story.
Isn't that like a prologue in the book?
So there's a part in the book that's the captain's logs of how he got from Transylvania to England, and they took that part of the book and made that into the entire movie, just like what if like this was what happened during the voyage and how he got there.
Yeah, that did sound like a cool concept to me.
Because it's like
there's
nothing they have to hold it to, because it's just such an open concept with the book. It's such a good setup, and it was really fun.
I just didn't hear anybody who went to see it. I don't think anybody went to see that movie because the marketing was weak as fuck on that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
But I love monster movies.
A lot of people, it probably they never even saw a trailer for the commercials never even got to them.
Yeah, I've never even
I got a
heard
shit
of it
one for YouTube though, because it just it's like
they would show ads. I remember seeing ads for it on
time.
YouTube. But yeah, it's YouTube's got that thing where it's like they try to advertise the things that you're like looking at. So if you're not looking at like horror shit a lot, like I was getting some of those ads, not a lot, but I remember thinking like I could see how like a lot of people would never see an ad for this movie.
Yeah, no.
And Sam seems to be a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I had never seen anything.
They were showing it at the theater next door at one point.
I did not know that.
No. They were literally saying it was on the marquee for like 2 weeks. And I kept commenting like, I don't think anyone's going to go see that movie.
And then I have one more, and I just have to throw it in there because I fell in love with this movie this year. It's from 2008. But I want to fucking talk.
No.
Please,
no.
Can I just say the name?
No.
Okay, well, okay. If you want to, okay, I'll give you this one. But we really want to focus on movies that came out this year. Because I watched a lot of movies that didn't come out this year.
Devin, I've watched this movie probably about 15 times this year since I found it.
All right, what is it?
Strange Wilderness, man. I haven't had a comedy hit like that for me since This Is the End.
Bro, that scene where he's like asleep with the tattoos on his eyes.
It's just I haven't had a comedy hit like that for me in so fucking long, and that's all I'll say. I absolutely adore that movie.
That's a fair point, but again, yeah, it's just like because I watched that's the problem. Like I watched 14 movies that came out this year. I watched a lot more movies than that this year.
Well,
but
you
a
made
lot
me
of them
think
did
of it.
Not come out.
I saw the end earlier,
I watched
and it
all
made me
the
think of
fucking
that.
Taken movies this year.
For the first time?
Yes.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know Liam Neeson has a problem with pissing his pants?
I did not know that.
He does.
Yeah, dude.
And
Hold on,
a few
Sam.
other Liam Neeson movies also.
Sam, just do me a favor real quick. Google Liam Neeson pee pants.
No.
Please, just do it. No, it's literally it's a Google Images, but it's so good, dude. I'm telling you. Google it right now. Just type it in. Liam Neeson pee pants. Google Images.
But that's all my honorable mentions.
I literally tell people about this anytime Liam Neeson comes up in conversation because if I ever have a punk band, I'm naming it Liam Neeson pee pants. Because it's like this motherfucker's incontinent.
The person who told me about this, and I'd completely forgotten about it until you brought it up again. Because Liam Neeson pee pants I remember that
shit. Dude, there's like so many photos of him with pee pants.
How long have you been sitting on that name?
This man's just pissing his pants.
Wow.
My favorite's the one where it looks like he's like leaning against a wall and he's kind of drunk and he's just fucking. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing.
Sorry.
You can like find Chip let me borrow a tourist trap. earlier this year. You remember this, Sam? I borrowed Tourist Trap from Chip.
Yep.
I watched that. That was from like the 70s. It had fucking early Mitch from that 70s show. I've never seen her in anything except that. And she was in this movie. And it was like basically Wax Museum from like the early 2000s was a remake of this movie. I'd never heard of this movie. It was great. And then I found out about Full Moon Pictures. And I watched like Slave Babes from Planet 46 or whatever the fuck that movie
that
was.
fucking weird ass fucking shit.
Yeah, where those like hot ass slave space chicks ended up escaping and then crashing on a planet where this dude was hunting people. And that movie was a lot of fun. And that was like a cheesy B sci-fi film from the 70s. So like I've seen some wild shit this year, but I was yeah,
you can cut that entire part. I've literally just wanted to talk to you
no,
about that movie
I'm
for
not
long.
gonna cut it out. No, I completely understand. No, for sure. And I feel like we should have not. Sam, did you watch any like weird, cool stuff from the past that you would never see? I guess Taken. You said Taken, but
No, that's not. I wouldn't classify it as weird, cool stuff.
well, not weird, cool stuff, but just like anything that you saw
No,
that stuck out besides that
no.
this year. Okay.
I'll show you Toxic Avenger, Sam.
All right. Well, so
I'll show you all three.
I guess we could start doing our worst.
Do we want to start at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and
I'll start.
I've actually got 7 worst films for this year.
All right, my 5th was Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yep,
Natalie loved that movie.
it was good, but it was also bad.
I feel like that's the point though, right?
Yeah, probably.
Was it corny bad or
But-
just like production bad?
I'd say it was like corny bad,
Okay.
and I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's like, out of the movies I watched, that one hit the number 5 spot in the bottom 5.
Okay. Well, I kind of just want to run through my 7 and 6 real quick. Only because I think this one's gonna trigger Beck a little bit, but my number 7
Isn't
was
it Evil Dead?
disappointing movie of the year was Evil Dead Rise.
No. Oh, why?
Wow.
So I loved the Evil Dead, and I loved this movie. That's why it's not worst. It's disappointing, this one.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting more the tone of the 2013 remake,
Mo-
and this one went a little bit different. It was not exactly what I was expecting, and I just felt like they kind of they pulled back a little bit on some shit.
Oh,
Especially the scene where like the tattoo gun goes
Mhm.
in the eye. They totally should have fucking put that in the eye, but they didn't. And so they held back on some shit, and I get it's kids, but that would have made it even better. And that's why I like the fucking that's why When Evil Lurks hits a little bit harder,
Yeah.
because kids are involved in some of this violence, and they don't hold back. And so it's like Evil Dead Rise just kind of let me down a little bit. Not saying it was a bad movie. I loved it. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times this year. Like outside of Across the Spider-Verse, it's the most watched movie I've seen this year. Like I watched both of those probably like 5 times a piece. So those were my 2 like probably favorite movies of the year, like in terms of just like watching a lot. But Evil Dead Rise just definitely was not exactly what I was expecting, and I wished it had gone a little harder, especially being an Evil Dead movie. So that's kind of why that ended up on my list. But then number 6 was Megan, and it's kind of the same thing. They went PG-13 on that. They should have gone R.
Yeah.
Have you watched
And
the
they
unrated
thought-
yet?
And then they later released a fucking R version.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Like what?
and they should have just
Can you just-
originally released the R version, but they thought
Yes.
they could get more asses in seats because honestly, like you said, that movie came out in January. And January is like a dry spell for horror films. If you put a horror film out in January, usually you have no, as a studio, that means you have no faith in the property doing well. And so that's kind of what they did with Megan. The problem is Megan went viral with the trailer a few months prior. So all of a sudden everybody had interest in going and seeing Megan because they wanted to see that like dance scene with her in the hallway.
Okay, that
and
was
shit.
really
And
funny. All right.
and it's great, but it's like that movie could have been so much better if they had leaned more into like gore and R rating. Like if
Yeah.
they hadn't, because there was R rated shit that they cut out because they thought they could get like teens in seats because they were worried about it being a January release. But if they had more faith in it with the viral marketing they got, it could have been a hit and a fucking awesome movie. But it was just all right because of that. So that's my like number 6 most disappointing. Number 5 though, and this is I'm getting into my list now, Hell House 4.
I've never even heard of that one.
Hell House LLC. It's the movie that Beck, you, me.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I watched the 4th one as thing.
So the 4th one was the Carmichael Manor. It was the first one that didn't take place at the.
I definitely haven't watched it then.
The Abbott Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the place. So that's the first one but it's like the origins of how everything started at the hotel. It kind of like shows how shit started there through people going to another house. But compared to the first 3 at the Abbott Hotel, this movie fucking sucked. Like, it wasn't bad. It was more disappointing again. It was disappointing to me because the first 3 were so awesome, especially the end of the 3rd one. Did you watch the first 3?
I watched, because remember, I texted you, or we started talking, and we were both like watching them. I was slightly behind. I don't remember a lot of the 3rd one. I was getting burnt out. I need to rewatch it, but I have watched them.
I just remember the 3rd one. The 3rd one like had a great ending with like,
because
like, the 3rd one,
reveal and
the 3rd one was about the dude who like was trying to like redo the Abbott Hotel haunted house, and they were like, why are you doing this? Like, you're gonna get people killed. And then it turned out, like, I thought from the beginning that he was like there to sabotage it. And so then he does, and like at the very end, like the guys from the first movie, like they end up having like, they're just stuck in purgatory, but they're not in hell. They're just like in the Abbott Hotel hanging out. But that dude kind of like saved their souls. Anyone else who, so it was like an awesome, like kind of happy ending to a really fucked up trilogy. And then you get hit with Hell House 4, and it's just kind of like, this felt kind of unnecessary. So, and again, I did just discover this whole series, but watching them all so close together, this one just was like the weakest entry to me. And a lot of people think it's the best one, which is odd to me. Because I really love the 3rd one. The 3rd one was great.
I like the first.
The first 3 are phenomenal. But yeah, the 4th one was just a little bit of a letdown. And again, that one was also, that came out this year. And that was one of the few films that I saw that came out this year. So that one managed to make my list just because of that.
All right.
But Beck,
So
what is your 5th?
Your number 5.
Insidious, The Red Door.
Oh fuck, I need to add that to my want to watch. I do really want to see that.
I didn't feel like there was a lot more story to tell. They were just kind of pulling at strings with that one.
Well, I think they were trying to like milk like the fact that they managed to get Patrick Wilson back.
Well, yeah, and that's the reason I watched it.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Dude. But yeah, it was just obviously, but it's still it was just lazy. It didn't feel like much of anything.
All right,
Yeah.
Beck, I'm gonna take an early guess, and you can just tell me if I'm wrong or I'm right, or you don't have to say anything. But did the new Exorcist make it on your list?
It didn't. It's not anywhere.
Oh wow. I heard really bad things about that, and I was waiting to hear what you thought about it.
We'll wait.
What
We'll
did you
talk.
think about it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought
I've
you were
been
going to see
waiting.
it.
I never had a chance to, and then I've been waiting. And it finally came out in streaming, and I'm about to buy it.
I
I,
heard
I
it's
really wanted to, but it was just an awkward time.
I heard it's dog shit.
I remember you talking about it, and you're like, it's not. You're like everybody was expecting it to be this, and it was this, or it wasn't at all. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Nah, dude, especially with like I don't want to give you any spoilers or anything, but I just heard like especially what they do with like legacy characters.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming it had to do with like Reagan and the mom, because I know they show them in the trailer, but I feel like they're just gonna be like in passing.
They're in like one scene from what I
Yeah,
understand.
that's what I expected, because I figured it was probably just them like talking about their story, and that was it.
Yeah, so they kind of
Also,
like
I
use
can't.
that to pull people
The,
in, and then they
the
went to
woman
see
like
it. And
broke her back filming that first movie, so I imagine she's like, I don't want to be in anything. Like
Right.
the wardrobe. But I mean, so many movies have done that. But anyway,
um,
I think we're on number 4.
yeah, Sam, what's your number 4?
FNAF.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no interest in ever watching that movie.
it's because you're not a fan.
No.
I
of
remember
Sam.
you saying because we were watching Hell House 1 when they went to see that, and I remember I got a text from Sam or Natalie, and I was like, "What was your guys' review of the movie?" And they're like, "It was a movie."
Yeah, I mean, the part, like, they're trying to make it kid friendly, right? And it's like, it was okay. There were some scenes where it's like,
Mhm.
they fucking literally kill people. But it's not what I was expecting.
Yeah,
Willy
I
Wonderland
I
was
wouldn't
better.
have expected much from that movie, myself. All right, hold up. You can keep going with that. I gotta go grab my food real quick.
Well, so was it? Saying is like it's a movie for the fans, right? So what I'm trying
I
to
mean,
say.
kinda, but like, also fans hate it.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, like,
I wasn't sure.
all the fucking, you know, like the scenes where they're dancing and
Mm-hmm.
building a fort and shit. It's like, that's not at all.
Yeah.
And there's also scenes where like the night guard, right? The main
Yeah.
character,
Josh Hutcherson, man.
he falls asleep on the job.
You don't fall asleep on the job.
He takes sleeping pills. So no, it's not at all like the game.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be like the game. I expected it to have like the lore tie-ins more than anything, because the
Yeah.
game was quite literally you just sitting in an office.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the movie was trying to shoot for that.
No, the movie kind of just went in a different direction.
All right, are you done with
Yeah,
Five Nights at
yeah.
Freddy's?
yeah.
All right.
Just
So my number 4 was Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny.
Did not see that one.
I enjoyed it, but again, super disappointing. I just, I don't know, man. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in his fucking 80s does not work. It worked a little better with
Neither
this
does
one.
the plane.
It worked, like, I would say, I saw one guy say that he liked Crystal Skull better than this one.
I like Crystal's. I don't
I do too.
understand
Yeah,
the
Crystal
fucking
Skull was
flat
good.
Crystal Skull get.
Yeah.
I like Crystal Skull. A lot of people don't because they're like it's so unrealistic because like aliens, bro.
The guy rips a heart out of someone's chest.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
What
thing.
do you mean?
And then so
What
this
part
one's
of it is
a Nazi's
realistic?
face melts off when
This
they open the
one's
Ark of the
fucking-
Covenant.
this one's time travel, and so it's honestly it's kind of cool. I like this one more than I like Crystal Skull, but compared to the original ones, it just again it's
I mean,
like
I guess
a
I
week.
could see how like the time travel is far fetched even for Indiana Jones, maybe, but I don't. This isn't the time to be drawing lines in the sand
Well, okay, so there's
because you can't do a lot of the practical stuff you did when he was in his prime. So you got to run with something.
there's like a scene where he ends up witnessing something he studied way back in like college, and he's like, this is literally everything I've worked for my entire career. This is the dream right here. And so it's like kind of like it does work as a send off for him that he kind of experiences history in this movie, but it's like I don't know, it's just weird. It didn't live up to the original trilogy.
Okay.
What was your number 4?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
That came out last year.
Yeah, that was not.
Did it not?
Yeah.
Was it 2022? I'm so sorry. I just
Yeah,
got
that was
around to
2022.
watching it. I vetted
Also-
so much of my
Also,
stuff. I'm
fuck
sorry.
off.
Yeah, fuck you.
Dude, I'm sorry.
That's
I
a
just
great
watched
fucking
it
movie.
This year, thought it came out this year. I apologize about that.
That's a great fucking movie, bro.
Dude. Well, so I'll just
No,
say this
We're,
about
we're
it.
not talking about it. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
All right, my number 3.
Hold on. Let
What?
Beck readjust.
All right.
I'll find out. I'll run through the other ones real quick. Sam, if you want to read yours off.
All right. Number 3, Quantumania.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
still
kinda
haven't
went
seen
through
that
a
one.
weird Marvel kick to where I went
I
through
mean-
and watched like a lot of the ones that just came out, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
MODOK is like, why? Why is he like this?
He's so fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It was just
the
weird.
point
It was
of his
like,
character. There was no point in it. He
Yeah.
came in to be bad and then have a crisis.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just fucking weird. They built him up throughout the entire first half of the movie, and then it was just this weird ass fucking character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like it makes sense who they made MODOK, and that's like for the world, but just leave him. Just don't. That's all. I just don't. There's. Although I know he is no longer Kane. But what do you think about his performance as him in like the brief moment we got him?
I mean, like, I guess I will say I still enjoyed watching the movie, but it was not a good movie.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
So like, he didn't do a bad job. It was just it was a weird ass fucking thing.
Yeah. Also, I'll throw in. It was 65 with Adam Driver. If you guys heard anything about that.
No.
Yeah, no, it was just like a little sci-fi movie that had to do with he was just from a different planet, crash landed on Earth, but it was like 15 million years ago or however long it is. There was dinosaurs there. It was like that. I don't know what the Will Smith movie was, but it was like Planet Earth, or it was like that, but it was Adam Driver, and I liked
After
it because
Earth.
it was. Thank you. I liked it because it was Adam Driver, but that was about it. It was just.
Bro, I just spilled a whole Hi-C orange in my room.
That's
Damn.
fucking crisis. God, I don't know what happened last year.
Sam, you're calling me. Why are you calling me?
Just check your messages.
What are you calling? Shit. Bro, I gotta clean this fucking high C orange up. Alright, so that was your number 3, Sam?
Oh, it's I think Beck's number 3.
Well, we were talking about Quantum Mania, and then I threw in 65.
Oh yeah. That's my number 3.
Yeah.
Alright, so my number 3 is Renfield.
Yeah.
Thought that movie
Yeah.
was fucking garbage.
It was
I mean, it was
definitely
fun,
a letdown.
but like, yeah, it was not what I was expecting.
I wanted way more out of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, because I like
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage
Cage
as
and I like
Dracula.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted
Yeah.
more of that.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think
Nicolas
Dracula
Cage,
was
as usual,
funny
did a
as
great
I
job.
wanted him to be. I wanted there to be more of a comedic side with him, but it was just an awkward, like, seriousness.
All right. Beck, what was your number 3?
Knock at the Cabin Door.
I still need to
Really?
see that one.
No, I think that one is honestly, it was a good movie.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't
but
in my
it
list,
wasn't-
but
It just I didn't like it that much.
yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the bigger misses. I was fairly excited to see it, and it was just there.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. It
I
was
will
a
say-
good movie.
I'd probably watch it over Old again,
Mm-hmm.
but
That movie was garbage.
also Old was. It had one good like body horror scene, but that was about it for me.
All right, Sam, I'm trying to kind of rush because I know you said you need to get going. And we
Yeah,
have been going
okay.
for like 2 hours now.
My bottom number 2 is Cocaine Bear.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people like that movie.
I mean, I guess it was fun, but it wasn't like. No, it wasn't better than any of the other ones I mentioned. And I just thought it was just not the part, you know?
All right, well, my number 2 was The Flash.
Hey, yeah. So
I didn't see that one.
That movie
to get
was
that out of the
fucking.
way.
I didn't even fucking finish that movie. It was so bad.
Oh, I did.
I got about halfway through and was like, "Fuck this shit, bro."
I had to see the Nicolas Cage
Wait.
Superman.
Dude, I heard it was
Wait.
terrible.
No,
It's your
every single
fucking
cameo
number
was crap.
2, and I'm excited to see what your fucking number 1 is. Guys,
Bro,
yeah.
it was so bad, so fucking bad.
But it's not worse than your number 1. What?
No,
Okay. All right. Beck, what's your number 2?
Oh, it's Flash. It's also
Flash.
Flash.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying. I said I was like kind of excited, like we just get it out of the way. Again, because I try to look at DC through a lens and like try to give them benefit of the doubt, you know. It's just not fun. Not good. The cameos
It's so
were all
bad.
like CGI. It was quite literally the like Indian bootleg of Endgame.
and
Or
the
No Way
CG
Home.
is
No Way Home. I'm like, oh,
the
did you
CG
just
is so
completely CGI
fucking
Nick
bad.
Cage? And Nick Cage was like, did he not say, he was like, I had no idea what was going on. He's like, I don't even, he's like, did I approve this or some
He
shit?
said he shot one scene and it wasn't even the scene they showed in the movie. They like 3D imaged him in a different scene. Like,
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah,
reason I
that
watched
sounds
is because I was hoping it was
terrible.
actually going to be him and not like the Scorpion King of him.
yeah, no, it was terrible.
Alright. My number 1 was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I think that was the worst movie to release during the year.
But I think you need to watch it to understand, because like, there's so many things wrong with it.
Did you hear the story
It's
about
the
the teacher
freedom
who
and
showed
stuff.
his class that movie?
I did not.
And then he got fired.
The teacher hired fucking Sasha Grey to read to his kids.
He was hosting a movie, like it was one of those things where it was like the end of the year, and he's like, "All right, kids, you guys are gonna vote on a movie that we can watch the last couple of years," and like the vote was for Blood and Honey, and they watched like the first 25 minutes, and there were students that were like, "I don't want to watch any more of this," and then they told their parents about it, and dude got fired.
Did he
All
not
right,
like
that's
watch
a,
it
that's a,
and pay
that's a
attention?
wrongful firing.
No, that's his fault. He didn't check it ahead of time.
Did you say wrongful? The kids wanted it.
He didn't hear the words Winnie the Pooh, blood and honey, and
He's
think,
like,
huh,
"Honey,
maybe I
bet
should
he's
look at
dyslexic."
this.
No, I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie. There's just so many things wrong with it. And it's
I
just
love
like,
why it was made though. It's simply that it's free now.
Dude, that's like a Steamboat
Mickey
Willie.
Mousetrap.
yep.
Dude, I just bought a T-shirt. It's a picture of Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, and it just says "Fuck you, asshole." It's from Meth Syndicate. But yeah, so my number one. It's not really a movie. It's a company. It's Marvel. Marvel fucking shit their pants this year.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
point where I literally only saw Guardians. Now, obviously, Guardians almost made it into my top 5 because that was a great movie. But that's Sean Gunn, and that's closing out a trilogy.
Yep.
Literally everything else they put out this year, I had no interest in, even as someone who's been a hardcore Marvel fan for years. And just hearing how terrible Quantumanium is, the Marvels, fucking all the Disney shows for the last like 2 years have been kind of mid to not terrible to terrible. So it's like, yeah, just like this year in particular, just watching their trajectory, Marvel in general shit the bed, and that's like the worst shit that has come out this year.
Yeah.
The only person who
I agree with that. Yeah.
the only other thing is like DC. Basically just superhero movies in general this year blew ass.
Yeah.
So that was my number one worst. Just Marvel in general.
I mean, I still need to see the Marvels. Like,
I do too, and I hear Kamala
I-
Khan is the best part of it, and I'm not
Yeah.
surprised by that because Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel was actually like pretty good. I enjoyed that one, but it was more her performance than the story of Miss Marvel. So
Yeah.
I could see how
But
she
that-
would be like the shining example
that's
in the
why
movie.
that's why I'm not like cutting it out. But like, I've heard the same shit you have. It's like terrible, but I still want to
just-
watch it.
It's a mess. And especially with Jonathan Majors now like just being fucking fired at the like near the end of the year as like the final fucking nail
Yeah.
in the coffin of whatever they've been trying to do for the last like 2 or 3 years. Like now they have to pivot. Dude, the Marvel had literally the worst year they've ever had since Iron Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, they shit the bed hard this year.
Honestly,
like a
maybe
fucking
the pivot will help.
You said what?
Maybe this whole like directional change will help because they might have had a plan and it might have all been shit if it's based off any of this stuff.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. It's like now that they've lost Jonathan Majors and they've been forced to be in a position where they only have one movie to release next year. I think they're really going to take a step back. I mean, Kevin Feige, they already took a step back and said like we're going to stop releasing so many series because literally like the phase 4 there's like 3,500 minutes of content, which is way more than the first 3 phases combined. And that all came out in the span of 2 years versus almost 10. So it's like,
Yeah.
you guys need to fucking slow down. And I think they realize like they've saturated the market so much that now they're like, We're not going to release a fuck ton of Star Wars or Marvel shit every year. And I think when they see, like, especially Deadpool 3, because Ryan Reynolds is so, like, that's his baby. And he's not going to let them fuck that up. And just from everything that's come out about it, it seems like it's going to be like a No Way Home type scenario where it's just like a dream movie. It's like, I think Marvel needs to really like take a step back and be like, we need to only like release like 1 or 2 movies a year so people have a chance to see them and get caught up. And they need to be bangers instead of just a bunch of fucking filler while we figure out what the hell we're doing. Because that's what everything for the last 2 years has felt like. It has not gone anywhere, or they haven't done. There's like no direction. After 2 years, there's still no fucking direction on where anything's going. The closest thing they had was Jonathan Majors Kang kind of showing up places, and now he's gone. Now he's gone. He's no longer a part of the MCU because he beat up his girlfriend.
Exactly. Like the one thing that did change stuff was the Loki series.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
now
heard
he's gone.
Yeah. It's just like they literally took a laxative at the end of 2022 and then it was just diarrhea out of their asshole for the last fucking year. Outside of Guardians, and then right after that James Gunn jumps ship and goes over to take over fucking DC. That's why now I'm excited to see what DC comes out with this year. I mean, Joker 2 alone, I'm going to go see the day it comes out.
Yeah.
But whatever happens in the DC EU, the like thing James Gunn is handling now, like I do want to go see the new Superman movie to see what he does, because he was the shining light of Marvel. Not only this year, but kind of for the last couple years with the Guardians. The Guardians are some of the best movies in Marvel. So, and Super with Rainn Wilson. Like, dude, yeah, I'm very excited to see what James Gunn does. But yeah, Marvel's in a bad spot right now. So that's why they just kind of like in general made it into my number one. Like they just, as such a big fan, they fucked up so hard this year that I didn't even fucking bother to see most of what they put out.
Yep.
And that's bad as someone who was so into Marvel as I was.
Also, do we need to hear Beck's?
Yeah, Beck, what was your number one worst?
Dude, John Wick 4.
Really?
Hey, yo.
What the fuck?
God, I watched this movie in theaters once. And then less than a week later, I saw it again, and I remember sitting there.
Beck, you're getting kicked.
And I did like when they're in Osaka. I love that I like that part. And then we get to it, and I'm like, oh wow, it's over. And now I'm sitting there, and I can replay that entire fucking movie in my head, and it's just so long, and I didn't enjoy it.
Man, dude, I had such a good time watching that movie.
I got exhausted after the first half hour of watching it.
You're not the one fighting him, bro.
I know.
You're like winded in your seat.
Seeing him dripping on the
to be your number one worst movie
out of everything
of 2023.
Bro, you obviously did not see a lot of movies.
No, I didn't. And that's why John Wick 4 is.
I get it, but that's oh my god. That actually kind of pisses me off. Bro.
I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of those movies.
Dude, you just don't like John Wick in general?
No, I don't like. I'm not a big action guy. Like the closest thing I probably like to John Wick is Guns Akimbo.
Dude, but
it's something I like that.
Okay, but you gotta, when you go into John Wick, you gotta understand, like, it is like top tier action, but it is still an action movie, so it is kind of dumb. But dude, like, when the movie starts and it's like that montage, like it kind of shows the flashbacks of him getting shot off the roof, and then it shows him like punching that punching bag in the sewers, and then like the dude, the Pigeon King comes in with his suit and is like, John, are you ready? And then he just like turns around. And he's like,
he says the one thing he always says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
it's
felt
like that.
nothing.
Yes!
That was that entire
Let's
fucking-
fucking go! Let's fucking go! Like,
It's
dude, and then it's just 3 hours of him fucking dudes up.
That's it. I
Like-
like Osaka, and I like when it's like the
Dragon
Radio
breath
scene-
scene, dude.
Yeah,
radio
The
scenes
the
are really,
overhead dragon
the-
breath
I know what you're
shotgun
talking
scene.
about. I
The
remember
over-the-top
conversation from, like
scenes?
2 hours ago,
Oh
and
my
that's why I was laughing my ass off because you're going on about how much you love this movie, and I'm like, I'm just so bored.
Oh my god, dude.
And the problem is, this is not a personal attack. I just don't like this one.
I remember Sam got up. I didn't get up the whole time. Sam went up to go grab a couple more beers. I was like, dude, yeah, grab me one. And then he came back. He's like, what I miss? What I miss? And it was like he went like right before the staircase scene, that big staircase scene. So then there was
Oh
all
my
that
God,
shit.
yeah, I know.
Okay, no,
That,
That
scene
was
was
the
so
one-
much longer the second
that was the
time.
dumbest scene.
That was the dumbest scene of the movie when he
And-
tumbles
and-
down all of the
And I
stairs.
will say,
It's like,
Yeah.
catch yourself.
Part of why
I
it
was
ruined it,
I was
because
sitting
it's
there.
just so hard to watch it again and again.
I was sitting there like, how many more stairs are there?
Well, I also like
Like
it.
I would have
Okay.
been double legging it, bro. I'm
We're-
sorry.
Since we've all seen it, I'm gonna get into spoilers a little bit. I thought it was a great like ending. I'm gonna put air
It's not
quotes
over.
ending
Yeah,
to
it's-
John
I'm
Wick's
sorry.
story, because if they don't do another movie with him, I think that was a great way to end his story. He finally fucking got out on his own terms at the very end.
Yeah.
He figured it out, and then he died peacefully. I think that's where they should end it. If they do another one, this movie won't have nearly as much weight, and it might actually suck ass after that.
Well-
Aside from the awesome action
Yeah.
visuals, like the story it just won't work anymore if
Like-
they bring him back.
I don't think they're gonna do another one.
No, they have talked about doing another one. They said at
They
some point he
fucking-
may
they
retire.
better
in
not.
Years, but
I mean, right now they're focused on they're about to drop the Continental, the series on Peacock. It's like a 3-episode series.
I
but
mean,
it's gonna
if they do a
feel
story
like a
about the
movie.
fucking
It's about what's his name, the guy who runs the Continental,
Ian
John's
McShane.
friend.
yeah,
I don't know
I
his
mean
character
that'd be
name.
fine.
Yeah. It's gonna
But-
be like a young him in the 70s, like
They-
Oh.
starting to work at the Continental.
That'd be fine, as long as they don't revive fucking
No, yeah.
John.
Well, and the thing is with that, I'm excited for that because it's directed by the guy who's done the movies and the like stunt coordinate. So it's literally gonna feel like a John Wick movie, but just in like a 3-part series. And I think each episode's gonna be like an hour and a half. And so it's gonna be like a extended John Wick movie, but it's gonna give you a lot of backstory on the Continental and stuff,
Mhm.
and probably a lot more world building. So if they do more stuff like that, and then I know they have Ballerina, which is going to be about, I think Ruby Rose's character from the third one. I could be wrong. I know it's somebody. But they're doing like a spin-off of one of the characters. But yeah, so I like that stuff I'm into, but if they bring John Wick back, it's just gonna it's gonna ruin
No, yeah.
the, as Beck would put it, already terrible movie that is John Wick 4. You fucking fuck.
he should have died at so many points. Also,
Dude, that's the thing. There's so many
It's like a 5-minute scene of him walking down a hallway at a painting where fucking the one guy just sitting there staring at another big ass painting. It's such an unnecessarily
Dude, when
long
he-
shot,
when
and just
he
the clicking of his shoes.
when he flies out the window like 4 stories down and lands
Yeah,
on
and he
that
hits
car,
the car, and
and then he just
he's
gets
just like,
up and walks away.
Consequences.
Yeah.
And he
If we're,
walks.
talking, if we're talking about that, the fucking third movie when he falls off the roof.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing. So it's like you have to.
That's why
There's
he
a
didn't die
suspension.
in this one. You know when he survived in the last fucking movie? He didn't die a gunshot wound.
Okay. While we're on the subject, though, and this is another reason why this movie. I forgot to bring this up earlier, but the reason why this movie ended up on my top is because it had the coolest fucking fight scene I've ever seen in my life outside of Old Boy, and that was the whole like in the middle of traffic fight
Yeah.
scene where he
Yeah,
started using
that scene was
cars as
something.
weapons.
I'll give
He's
you
like
that.
throwing dudes into moving. Like, dude, that fight scene was so sick. Yeah, that
Yeah.
movie's that just like the choreography of the fights alone is why that movie is so great. Like that movie proves that stuntmen deserve more recognition. Because I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw that behind the scenes video where that one was shooting of the staircase scene, and this stuntman just fucking hurls himself down a bunch of flights of steps, and it's him. It's him doing it, and he just like goes into it, and everyone was like, "God damn, that dude better be making a lot of money." Like, so these guys deserve some fucking recognition at like the Oscars and shit, especially for a movie like this. This is such a stunning like feat of like just like physical action, and the fact Keanu's doing like most of it too.
Yep.
Like, come on.
He's
now.
like over 50.
Yeah, and you can
He's-
kind of see it in this one too. He's
Yeah.
definitely moving a little slower, but it's still him doing it, dude.
Yep.
50.
Alright, I think I may head out.
All right.
All right, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Want to close out the episode?
You said what?
If you wanted to close the episode, or if you guys gonna keep talking.
I don't know. I guess we don't really have anything else to go over unless either of you had another movie you wanted to mention.
No.
Yeah, okay. I guess I got one more question for you guys. What's the
All right.
one movie that you wish you had watched this year that you haven't seen yet?
Shit.
That's hard for me to think of right now.
Yeah, if you asked me like 10 minutes ago when I had the list. For
Because I would say mine is probably either Killers of the Flower Moon or Poor Things, but I'm going with Poor Things.
All right,
I
wait,
want
I
to
got-
see
I
Poor
got one.
Things.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. I do want to see Iron
Yeah.
Claw too.
Yep.
They're still showing that next door.
I
yeah,
don't know.
so I'm showing it around here.
The only thing is with Iron Claw, I don't know, man. Whenever I see Zac Efron's face now, it just fucking looks so weird.
Farquaad. Oh, Godzilla -1.
Oh, that's
I wish I
that
had jumped on that.
fucking Chip was telling me that's the greatest Godzilla movie he's ever seen, and he's seen all of them.
I want
Wait,
to see.
wait, wait.
It's oh shit, because it's made by, I want to say the company made Ava. Or Neon Genesis.
He
Fuck.
said it
Shin
is-
Godzilla.
I was talking to him about when I was working at Grandview
Yeah,
a few weeks ago, and he was saying like it just puts the most recent Godzilla movies, like the American ones with like Bryan Cranston and Millie Bobby
Mhm.
Brown, it puts those motherfuckers to shame. Because not only is Godzilla fucking awesome in it, and it's like a really cool rendition of him, but they actually nail the human characters. And the human characters feel like you feel the weight of their story. It's not just like they're added to a Godzilla story. It's like they are part of the... So it's like everything that you want to be good in a Godzilla movie is amazing in this, apparently. So that's like probably my top... After Poor Things, that might be my second
I
for
would say
most
I wish
wanted to see movie
I
of
had
2023.
watched Talk to Me too, but that's
Oh,
it.
fuck,
really.
and Talk to Me. God damn,
I love
forgot
the
about
brothers.
Talk to
man.
Me.
I really wanted to watch that.
Well, and that's another movie
A24.
that A24 made. They're kind of getting into like making movies with YouTubers now because they got that movie coming out with Kane Pixel,
Mm.
the guy who did the Backrooms.
Ooh.
So they're doing a
Okay.
Backrooms movie with Kane Pixel, and he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
18. It's fucking wild.
That's
He-
insane. Imagine.
I will send you his channel, a link to his channel, or you could look it up on YouTube. His name is Kane Pixels. When he started this channel, he was 16. It is some of the craziest like CG animation you will see. And he's got this new series called The Oldest View in the World. It's like a 4-part series. I started showing it to Sam.
Yep.
It is so fucking cool. And part of the reason it's so cool is because it takes place in a mall that actually existed up until about a year ago and then was torn down. So that's the setting of the mall. And he recreated the whole thing like down to the finest details. To the point where like people who used to spend time in that mall when they were kids comment on how he like brought their childhood back, but in a really creepy fucking way. Because it's a
That's
horror
so cool.
series, dude. It's sick.
I'm looking at his channel right now.
What?
Yeah, when A24 signed him, he was fucking 17. They're like, we want you to make a Backrooms movie for us, and he's like, bet.
He probably literally said that because he was 16.
Right.
We're like, we need a legally binding signature.
Alright.
But yeah, so all right, well, I guess that was that'll wrap up 2023. 2024, we're coming strong. I gotta figure out what exactly we're doing. I want to find like a day that works for all of us, and then I'm gonna start just having that day off, so that like once a week we can get together and do this. It'll be a little more. Beck? What's the best day that works for you? Is it Wednesday?
As of right now, I have a set schedule, and I can send that to you if you want me to.
Yes, please. Yeah, send that to me, and I can work around that.
It might change here in the spring because we may start opening up earlier some days, but I might still have at least 2 of the same days off.
Okay.
Right now, for me, it's looking like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what I was thinking. So yeah,
Right
just
now,
Beck,
Wednesdays
send
are
me.
bad for me.
Those days are bad for you.
No, I said right now it isn't. It's my earliest day, but it goes into like I go in at 2 the next day, so I don't really have to be. I can be up later.
All right, cool. Yeah, send me your schedule, and I'm gonna figure out a day, and I'm gonna talk to my boss about just like getting that day off. I'm thinking Wednesdays. I usually have Wednesdays off already, but just to, like set it in stone, and then we can start doing this once a week. And
You know what I think would be fun? You both watch They Clone Tyrone.
I was gonna.
I
say,
do
want to
see that movie.
After
Yes.
we talk about it. You said it's on.
Okay.
Is it a Netflix one?
I put it number 3 for 2023. It's a great movie. All right.
All right, Sam. You know what? Next week, They Clone Tyrone.
I think I have Tuesday off. Tuesday.
I'm also off Tuesday.
Yes.
What is that? What day is that? Is that the 9th? I think that's
Yes.
the 9th. I'm off that
Yeah.
day.
I'm not sure. All right.
So that yeah,
I do
that'll
go in
work.
at 11 though, so if we shoot for an earlier one, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off
that's
Tuesday.
fine.
Devin's off Tuesday. They Clone
Yeah.
Tyrone.
All right.
It's a great fucking movie.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
All right. Well, until next week. I'm Devin.
Sam.
I'm back.
And we are the Cinemoth Podcast. We will talk to you guys again next week. Peace.
Peace.
Are you knocking on my door? Yeah, come on in. You just push. I didn't mean to hang up on you guys. I meant to end the stream.